Where do children come from?
What a great note to start the recording on.
Goodness.
When last we left off, the party had spent some time searching for a location within the caravan of the Cackling Carnival that they felt safe in to rest as they prepared to push past the last of the upper floor unopened doors the clown faced, double door. Despite a laughing, decapitated head that they forgot to remove, they were able to get a more or less decent sleep and eased open the door with Mage Hand. The group confronted Clown in his room full of curiosity cabinets, glass display cases, as well as a set of stands for his flickered, laughing audience. A younger woman bearing resemblance to the Lady Boriska van Hild among them. Amidst the battle, with the party all catching some laughing flicker shriek fever, the group otherwise bore up under Clown's jokes and telling words about the state of the two reaches and his own abandonment, and was able to be victorious. After the battle, the party collected the key to the Wonder Wagon, as well as pouches for Dust of Delight and Dunce Dust, but quickly vacated the room to avoid further contact with the laughing victims. Tennille then contacted the governess, Lady Van Hild, delivering the news about her daughter's rescue and state of being, and asked for assistance in returning, which she agreed to send. The group heads back over to the map room to get a sense for various places and seemingly more accurate details on farther locations other than the sort of general radius of Sanctus, also noting some strange marked X spots on the map. Deciding to retrace their steps, the group tackled the first floor and had a bit of a scare with an aquatic bath elemental that seemed unhappy when the party explored the bathroom and its 3 fish tanks, which displayed a magical backward fountain, a coral seahorse statuette, and a little clockwork ship. Before combat broke out, the group made contact with the wagon's spirit, Carney Canine, whose personality seemed to be continually shifting down and changing back to something a little bit more positive under the fading effects of the flicker's control. As Anetka currently bears the key, Carney Canine, or Karenine, tells the group that they are now that they now possess the ancient and spirited Vianthan wagon that once belonged to Quintisius, aka Clown. The spirit explains the wagon's powers, capacities, and ability to defend or somewhat disguise itself at need, as well as its ability to block scrying and sending and to teleport. And the group, delighted at their new roving base of operations, got to push down into some other rooms on the first floor, including the heavily trapped lounge room that concealed some disguise kits, juggling balls of dancing lights, magical knucklebond dice, and a strange embroidered handkerchief with MS on it. The last room opposite the bathroom was a rather sinister-seeming toy and crafting workshop area with clockwork, woodworking, and suspended dolls creaking from the ceiling, which Slate plunged right into and got attacked. But after dispatching a few creepy silver needle-y dolls, the group took a quick glance, noticed some strange things in the room, like cracked golden spectacles and a mechanical canary, but decided to leave this room be for now. As for the now, the group needs to decide how best to next proceed, discovering that Karenine can manifest as a draft animal and pull the wagon himself. Before setting out, though, the group bravely rounded up all the carnival victims, including Daidoka, Kendo, and Chakuna's father, and herded them, along with those found in the clown's room, into the sort of sitting room lounge area down below. They also totally convinced Bonnie James that no, really, there isn't anything of value inside this caravan, bro. But with their perilous and humorous mission accomplished, the group now readies to see return to Landerhal, exonerate themselves for the fire at the Ram and Shackle, earn good graces with the Lady Governess, and discover what state of affairs has become in the meantime there at the border city. So, we return in the state of the 13th turning on the 3rd shard. It's about, you check your guys' timepieces or the timepieces in the room, and it is probably about 11 hours after turnover. So at 11 a.m., late morning kind of deal, or the equivalent of. So that is what we're looking at the moment. So with that, what is everyone doing?
You see Anetka just like sorting through a knitting bag and like pulling out like a yellow, a black, and a white ball of yarn. I can watch the wagon if you guys wanna walk.
So, why do I not get to ride in the wagon, all comfy like? Why would we not, maximize comfort after this hellish journey?
You can ride in the foyer. It's just not really safe upstairs.
Upstairs? There's an upstairs in the wagon? What?
Yeah. Why do you think we were in there so long?
Oh, well, what all did you find? Is there something of interest? More places to rest? Why is it not safe up there?
Lots and lots of traps.
Yeah, traps. There was that water elemental that tried to kill us.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the dolls.
Oh, the dolls!
Ah!
Yeah.
Both
That wasn't a
downstairs.
fun one.
Okay, go ahead and make either intimidation or
Ooh, can I
persuasion. The two of you who are talking,
So not
Woo!
so not you. What were you trying to do, Sarah? Sorry.
I was gonna add in the conversation.
Oh, what do you want to say?
No, it wasn't. It's yeah.
When she said add to the conversation, she meant dagger in the back, but
That could have been worse.
Inequality here.
Also, all these are really good and it's really hard to decide.
All right, what was your guys' result?
11.
Oh, 19. Her eyes kind of flare, and you can really see the tusks when she's talking.
It's a 13 if I use strength-based intimidation, but either way, it's not great.
I'd say it's probably charisma in this case, because you're like
Yeah.
convincing with threats.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we might be able to. We're getting some issues here with the sound here. I suppose we might be able to take a bit of. I really don't want to deal with any more dolls or creepiness. I've had more than my fair shares, life worth of such things. So no, thank you. So I suppose we'll just walk for now. But all I'd like to say is it would be real nice if we could maybe, get a little bit of reward out of this. I imagine all of you are going to do just fine for yourselves. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just saying. I was here.
typically the rescue don't get paid.
Sassy slave.
Well, I have to say, I thought, Tiny, that we had something going here. But I feel like I was rather helpful in the maze. I don't know about all of you, but I feel like I contributed significantly to your success there in the maze.
Can you give us a list of examples of what you did to help us?
I provided a map of the maze that you used, in fact, to navigate it more efficaciously. And it's a big word there. I hope you like it. I personally think that it was a rather solid effort that contributed, and I even gave a little bit more of a hinting as to some of the general nature of these different hideous attractions that were here. So I feel like I played a role. I'm not a great warrior. I just did a good job.
Yeah, pulling that map out of your pocket was really hard. Thank you so much.
It was
for
the
your
getting of the map that was important.
I think we can potentially provide Bonnie James with a parting gift that is.
Could be. I think we should have some sort of agreement, however. As
Okay.
we're traveling on the road, say somebody comes by and they decide they want this to be their wagon. If you help us try to shoo these guys off, we might have something in store for you. If you just stand by and sit there while we go through the entire process, I'm not sure that we really have something for you.
Very well, fine. I can pull my weight. I got here on my own, didn't I? So I can definitely that can be done.
Yeah.
I'll definitely, for sure, yes.
And just back to our conversation when we met in the maze. We know your father has maybe made some bad choices in regards to a certain money-lending family. And as it happens, we have some potential dealings with said money-lending family involving the death of our friend. And you know, maybe should you not be a pain in our ass, we could, I don't want to say help, but maybe figure out what's going on with your father and this family.
That would be very much welcome. I'm not really sure what the whole dealing with the death of your friend and the Scoven family, but yes, I was aware of my father's debt. It's part of the reason why I, as always, had to step up to try and help a bit of the family and try and find some solutions here, as well as some potential lootings. I feel like this is just like super staticky all of a sudden. But I would be delighted with a little bit of assistance, but if you're able to, a parting gift would also go a long way, I imagine. Still got to help out the fam and all that.
Yeah.
Go, Dad.
Yeah, go your father. Our friend was found dead in his basement, but whatever.
Yeah, what exactly happened there? I
That is a great question that I would legitimately also like to know the
I was
answer
hoping
to.
you would know.
I had already left by that time. I didn't know about such things.
Insight check.
We already covered this.
Go ahead.
You did?
You did cover
Yes.
this, yeah, we already
Okay.
covered this.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah, no, that... If you know, of course you'll get your parting gift, but I'd say it would be fair if you happen
Maybe get her parting gift.
But if you also happen to, even at a later point, find out some of what happened there and let us know, I think a reward would only be fair in that circumstance.
I will do my utmost, as always, delivering excellence.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we're in a better space altogether, can we, like, you know, get into the caravan and enjoy a little bit of luxury? Is it really all as
We were
safe?
serious about the dangerous stuff.
You can, I mean,
We can sit inside.
we can sit inside. I think the bathroom is probably okay as long as we
The
don't.
bath elemental.
As long as you don't try to steal anything, you should be okay.
Right. Okay. I mean, I could use a bath. That is for sure.
I think
I'll turn away. It'll be fine.
I think we can.
Are we all gonna run in the bathroom?
Well, no, I think we can take turns walking and sitting in the foyer and but I don't recommend going upstairs.
I would say don't go anywhere in that place alone.
Fine. I mean, I'd like to go to the bathroom alone. But
As long as you don't piss off the bath elemental.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the bathtubs is alive. If you need to take a bath, make sure we tell you which one isn't alive.
which one isn't alive? That's kind of an important thing to cover right at the outset.
The one on the right, or was it the left?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Bloody hells.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, one will try to kill you.
Just
and
let us
one
in,
is
please.
just a-
I'm really ready for this. I'm ready for my bath, even if it's with a freaking elemental. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I'll take her into the bathroom and point out which one. Not that one. No, wait. I think. Yeah. No, not that one. Okay.
Oh, she just like immediately like sticks her hand into one of the baths and like swirls it around. So she looks like she's like getting ready to have a relaxing hot bath. You guys hear actually as you're back indoor, you do hear what sounds like some occasional like from the combined room, and Bonnie James kind of gives like a double look.
Yeah.
He's like, not that room, got it, and just kind of does her own thing off to the side from that. But as far as you guys all go, you also all have a bit of the fever yourself, so you guys are all still point of exhaustion and all that stuff, and still can be triggered into fits depending on how things go. But inside, you're also being addressed again, unanimously, and you hear the spirit of the wagon address you. Oh, hello, welcome, back all inside. It's so nice to have you all here. I just wanted, since we're all here together as a little grouping, I just wanted to let you know I am thankful that you have brought me a little bit out of that sad, humor place. In a way, Quintisius made me. He was one of the greatest of the Vianthans. and had many names that he had earned. But unfortunately, clown was his last, and while he wanted to make folk laugh, something twisted him to the worst version of that. And I think as part of that, I became a little bit twisted and cynical myself. So I apologize if I was a little shirty with all of you. I also realized that my name is coming back to me a little bit more. My old identity, my old self. I was once known as Cantifer, and I would prefer to be known as that amongst you, if you wouldn't mind. That would be. I mean, I would very much like to be called that again. I'd rather not wear the sad armor of sarcasm, and instead just be a free old self again. Yes, that would make me very happy.
Yes, you should know none of us like wearing the sad armor of sarcasm.
Yes, so very noted, my dear. But I hope that I can wring a smile out of all of you in time.
Yes, do you have the ability to let... we brought that redhead in. Can you... I don't know if you have this ability, but if you can let us know if she, starts wandering into places she ought not be wandering, that would be lovely.
That's really not... Once people are inside, unless you want me to use the active defenses against them, then there's not much that I can do as far as direct location monitoring and managing all of that for you.
Okay, well, if she does start trying to steal stuff, feel free to use the active defenses.
Very well. With lethal force?
Non-lethal? Non-lethal.
Non-lethal.
Yes, I can do that. Oh, by the way, where are we going?
Back to Landerhal.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, but normal speed. We want to save your teleporting abilities, I think, for a different journey.
Oh, very well. That's not a problem. I can still cover quite a distance, I would say so. And as a dashing stallion, you just hear as the wagon wheels begin to turn, and you guys see from out the window of this main foyer area. The outside goes by as if you were on sort of a cantering horse kind of situation, even though the wagon is moving at a very smooth and luxurious pace. And you guys realize the implications of how much nicer travel will be rather than walking, as you guys have walked the whole distance through half of Sanctus from Solney to Landerhal. And so, with implications relating to your guys' future plans to get to Shadveer, if you still want to do that, or wherever else you want to go. Now you're starting to maybe think about that. But with that said, and Bonnie James currently availing herself to the luxurious steam bath elemental situation, what is everyone doing here in the wagon?
Tennille, when we ever get back to Solney, I think Lou would find this wagon fascinating.
No, I agree. I wonder if we can convince him to come traveling with us.
Also, do you guys remember those pocket dimension things?
Yeah?
Like the little cubies and origamis things?
Yeah.
They did say we'd get one if we returned their father.
Yeah. What if they could do it to the caravan?
So, point of order. Is not the caravan already like that?
What if
Also,
they could make it
can we
more-
put one
but
inside of
also-
another?
Yeah, I suppose it already is like that, but
We could have a
we could
spa.
make a deal, or we could bring it with us in places that are harder to bring it with us.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
like a little
Because
one
I
you
don't know
could
if we're
put
ever
the...
gonna have to leave it outside. Like when we went down to that creepy tunnel, what would we do with the caravan? Just leave it
Yeah.
If you're
unattended?
asking if we can fold up this, we should try, because that would be
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, I should let them know we're coming back.
Oh yeah.
Did you
Good
not
call.
say we'd meet on the road or something?
Well, you two don't know he can do that. Point of order.
Okay, and
Order
you didn't,
pointed.
and you weren't around us when you did
No,
the
I
previous
did
And
that
there was the
message?
two of them outside. I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah.
where you
That's
guys
right.
were all
Okay.
exploring inside.
Are you gonna do the mining? You might need to step outside to do it.
I think.
Is this the talking to dead people thing?
Cantifer, can I
Yes.
can I send a message from inside the wagon?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I can retrieve the returning message and then forward it to you if you would like.
Okay.
Okay.
So his tattoos light up, and he's kind of standing there very awkwardly,
With his hands on his hips.
Yeah. Miss Felina is counting. It's Neil here.
Who are we sending this to, by the way?
Kendra.
There you go.
We found your dad. Alive, but laughing. Headed back to the city now. Maybe a day out. See you soon.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice, yeah. So there's like a polite pause. And you hear, oh, well, that is good news. Mostly. We have prepared for this outcome. The governess's daughter and father as well. We look forward to your return. Safe roads.
No, that's what they're prepared.
Now this is his talking to live people thing.
I mean, if I take a rest, I mean, we should do something with Quintisius's body.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and what should we tell his brother? Because, like, I think it would be nice to give him closure, but I also don't want to give the caravan back, and he might insist on that.
I mean, should we burn the body?
Can't hurt.
Okay, do we know the death practices of the
So good.
The anthems.
Vans?
Yeah.
Yeah, would any of us know those?
You guys can make, if anyone's proficient in religion, you can make a religion check.
I think I am.
I mean,
Cleric is not.
Classic edge cleric. I am.
I don't need to care about other people's religions.
You know, up until recently he didn't.
Not very studious, yeah, so it's fine. It's all good. Not very studious in that regard, I guess.
Whopping 8.
Whopping 8, not to your knowledge. You might be able to ask someone in Landerhal proper. Of course, even with the faster journeying rate that Cantifer can take the wagon, you guys might run into some like decomposition issues, since it'll be, you know, because there's like about 2 turnings for you guys' distance. It'd be about, it'll be less than a full 24-hour turning for Cantifer to make it back at the pace that you guys are going.
Well, if I take a little bit of a nap, I might be able to stop the body from decaying.
You've gotten very morbid lately. And
Yeah.
more so than usual. Actually, Cantifer, you're Vianthan, right?
Well, I was a Vanthan dog before I became what I am now. It's a complicated situation. But what did you want to know?
Would you happen to know what Vianthan death rituals are? That'd be a lot to ask of a dog.
That is what's a death ritual?
Okay.
What?
Do you know what they do with dead bodies?
Who's they?
Specifically their own.
The Vianthans,
Those you want
as
to
a
travel
people?
with.
Well, usually they would be burned and buried, the ashes by the roadside or beneath a tree.
Okay, I feel like... I mean, if we just, like, get some matches, set a fire, you know.
Do we want to talk to him, or do we just want to burn him?
What are we gonna ask the crazy clown?
I don't know. How did this happen to you?
Aren't we assuming it was a flicker?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. But should we maybe just take a quick break and...
Burn the body?
I mean, Grandpa, how good are you? You're good with fire, right?
reasonably.
I mean, I would hate to ask you to do this. This is a little morbid, but...
We literally kill people.
I know, but I mean, Chirps would gleefully. Would have gleefully
He had a flamethrower, yeah.
done it. I mean, should we stop and at least take care of the bodies that are currently rotting upstairs?
I mean, it could be a good deterrent to Bonnie James.
Well, Bonnie James is in the bath.
She just comes out of the bath,
Excellent idea.
comes out of the caravan, and the people she's been traveling with who've not been very nice to her are just burning bodies. That's not...
You want to help me, Tiny?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I can
Okay.
provide more support.
So you guys are taking the bodies outside and like stopping by the roadside and burning them?
I think that we should, yeah.
Okay.
We'll be proper for once.
Okay, so you guys take some time to do that. It takes a little bit. You're definitely noticing a couple of things. It looks like the eyes out of Clown's head are missing and are sort of replaced with like a gouging shadow spiral effect, similar to the symbology that you've seen before. The body does like murmuring chuckles as you move it. It's like but overall, I will just say, for the sake of brevity, you're at least able to quickly dispose of the body in a reasonable fashion,
And the heads.
and the heads and stuff like that.
But separately. We want his ashes.
So you guys successfully do that, and are you burying the ashes or waiting for them to burn? Or are you just burning the bodies on the side of the road and leaving them? Because if you're waiting for the body to burn, that's at least like some time.
It'd be nice to bring his ashes back to his brother and not anger every Vianthan for stealing their
let him
caravan.
bury it somewhere.
Yeah. I want to keep the caravan.
Yeah, I think that we should be respectful and wait a little bit. I mean,
Okay. I mean, you can. Sorry, go ahead.
we're relatively safe, and they know we're coming, and they don't expect us for another 2 days, to be honest.
I could freeze stuff around it. Unless you're saying burn.
You guys are already burning the body.
They're already.
Right,
It's
Okay.
already on fire.
This is
It's
a-
just whether or not you're leaving or waiting until it burns into ash and then collecting the
I could use
ashes.
some knitting time.
Okay, so you guys are waiting. It'll be a couple hours. We'll say 2, for you guys to let the body burn, and to the point of being ash, where you can collect it and stuff like that. The jester cap doesn't seem to catch fire, and seems.
Sarah, real life.
So that's one thing you notice.
I know.
Also, you guys did step back into the room and saw some more of the various things that he's got in the cabinets and stuff like that,
We haven't served.
which have not been searched. So you guys see a few other things there in the cache, but one thing that catches. Go ahead. Who is you two? We're doing the bodies, right? So why don't you both, Slate and Tennille, go ahead and roll perception to see what you're catching in there. While we're doing this for Nostos, I haven't heard much from you. So what are you doing?
20 of the natural.
Are we stopping?
At the moment, it's
Yes,
yeah.
it
You're
is.
at the moment you're stopping.
Renosis is gonna help light the pyre at least.
Okay. Anything else while you're waiting for the bodies to kind of burn away? Are you going to stand sentry in case something comes towards the big beacon fire on the side of the road, or
I'm gonna be right next to Bonnie James, wherever she's at.
she's in the bathtub?
She's in the bath. I'm gonna be right outside the door,
Got it.
waiting for her to be done.
Got it.
Annette, sensing this could be trouble, is gonna take her knitting and just sort of knit by the side of the bathroom door, just to
Okay.
guard
Interesting.
flow guarding Bonnie James.
Slate, also seeing this is going to be trouble, is going to ignore it. Find a book and read.
Okay. What book are you reading?
Let's see. What do I want to read? We got a whole slew of books.
Would you like the list?
I would appreciate it.
Yeah, and Annette will start her transmuter's shawl.
Okay. Cool.
Oh Lord.
So, yeah, you can just, it's fine.
What was your roll? You got a nat 20.
I got a 20 for 27.
Okay. The thing you're noticing in the that stands out to you are 2 pieces that particularly catch your eye, which seem familiar to you. One is a very nice framed painting of the smiling gentleman tricking or facing down the big dragon turtle that you saw on the cover of Flo's book that she had bought, the local Heroes of Sanctus Volume 1. And not far from that, you see a framed and broken mask of the smiling gentleman with a spiral-shaped crack in the center. And you actually get a glance with that 20. You get a glance at the thing that just says "My Old Face" in a plaque underneath.
Okay.
Nicholas, what was the silversmithing book? Because I know there was one.
Mm-hmm.
Smithing and Silver, I think
Yeah.
is actually the name.
Yeah,
Okay, I
Smithing
don't
and
see
Silver.
it on the list, so.
Yeah. Is that what you would like to read?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just say go ahead and make an intelligence check while you're doing that to see what you're gleaning from this.
After we got the bodies out,
Mhm.
I would have still watched outside since
Okay.
the rest of them are not.
So go ahead and make a perception check for that. This is a disadvantage because you're outside in the sunlight.
Oh, that's terrible both ways.
I'll say Rhinoceros is outside with her. Would I also be able to stand guard?
Sure, go ahead and make a perception check.
Hopefully better than mine.
Let's see. It is a nat 1, so probably not.
You know, there's a shifting in the wind and some of the smoke from the pyre just gets in your face and you're just like,
Oh.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah, it tastes like clowns.
It
And
tastes funny.
so overall, not a lot of
I liked it.
not a lot of perceiving happening, but this is generally a pretty barren area. The Shrine of Alito that became the carnival is kind of viewable off in the distance from behind and is a sort of on the hill type situation. But otherwise, this is like lowland with mild hill type situation. It's not a very picturesque scene in terms of lots of landmarks and things like that. You haven't made it very far back by the time that you actually stopped here. But the Bonnie James's bath wraps up. She comes outside and she's wrapped in some towels around her head and, you know, body. What are you all waiting for the loo?
Well, they're out doing things. She wanted to keep an eye on you. I
I was
wanted
so
to keep
worried
an
about
eye on
you, about that
her.
elemental in there and stuff like that. Just want to make sure you had a safe experience.
Yeah, we're all good. Is there a place I can go and change so I'm not naked?
You can go back in there.
I mean, honestly.
It is the bathroom after all.
All right, fine. Hey, did anyone wash my clothes? They're clean. What happened? What'd you all do?
You know how this is a magic caravan?
Sweet.
Magic.
I want it. I want it. I hate washing up after father. And she kind of just goes back in. And
You know, you could tell him to do his own dang laundry.
she's already kind of back in her own thing. But I'll take it under consideration. But so you guys, there's no particular negative event that happens during the burning of the body and stuff. You guys collect Clown's ashes and have that in an urn of some, like, could you have an urn or a bottle or a glass flask that Renastus has lying around?
I mean, I've got lots of vials, but I don't know how big they'd be.
They're presumably pretty small, so I'll say you can use 3 vials to collect his ashes.
Okay. We can do that.
This potion set is your brother.
So
Maybe we'll
you've
buy
got
an urn.
3 vials of clown ash.
Someone took the hat, right?
Uh,
It didn't burn.
It is still there in the pile of ash. Or
Hey! What are you magic types?
Slate's upstairs reading, so.
would Anetka be able to hear this?
communication's limited actually between the inside and outside of the space, but you can poke your head in and just shout for them and get a.
You! Nika!
What? I'm working on my shawl.
That exact noise.
I need to work on it for 8 hours.
Grandpa was scooping the vials or the ashes into a vial. I'm a magic type. Ooh.
Can you identify magic items?
Yeah, and I will actually.
Anetka,
I have it as a ritual cast identify.
Okay.
Hearing this, Anetka will throw up her hands and walk back inside.
You disturb me for no reason, frickin' heck. So you're taking 10 minutes to identify the clown hat. Got it.
Yep.
What's Flo doing while Slate's reading?
I'm still waiting for one.
She's out in clothes now.
Okay, I'm gonna keep a very close eye on Bonnie and make sure she's never not out of my eyesight.
You're a little close there, love.
I care about my friends.
Which we are not, as you've made pretty clear So, are you gonna kill me or what?
Not yet.
My
No.
intimidation
If you give me
check.
a reason to, then I might.
I
But
thought
right
I
now, we're doing okay.
Okay, right.
So
can
you
I
and I- you and
can
I are just
I
gonna be
lay
buddies,
down
so-
somewhere? It's been a very long
Sure.
series of turnings. Do you have
Go
like a
for it.
bed somewhere? Or should I just roll my bedroll right here in front of the stairs? Like what's the story?
Bedroll's fine.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it over here, maybe opposite the bathroom, so you can all do your business, and I'm just gonna pretend like I can fall asleep here. Good night.
Good night.
Flo, are you gonna kill her in her sleep?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay, and Annette will head upstairs.
Oh no.
Funny James, can I come up? Can I? What? I thought you said it was dangerous.
Yeah, but I'm tough.
Neil's not inside to hear any of this exchange.
She's
His
not
eyebrow,
there.
like his eyebrows,
She's
like, just twitching.
she's just trying to pretend like she's going to sleep. Okay, so with that said, let's get your roll on intelligence for the smithing and silver.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah. So, like I said previously, this is a wide range of like silvering techniques, not just silvering weapons, but also like smithing, casting, engraving, and stuff like that. But you do gain like a success point in the training process on some efforts there. You get the sense that in order for you to be able to really do this, you might need to be a more skilled, just like basic smith. As well, but you do feel like you've got at least a good idea of how much silver you would need, the temperature you would need to get the forge, like some basics like that to add it to a weapon, and you know, do the whole like get some sense of what that would entail, at least the starting of it. So, any other standing roles you need to take care of while you guys are doing this? But like clearly this is some downtime, so if there's things that people want to work on, you know, this is a downtime period as you guys are driving back or riding back. So are there things in the downtime that you would like to do in this caravan? Renastus, you had identified the clown hat, the jester's cap that Clown was wearing. It's not a bespoke magic item, but what I would say is this clearly has a lingering taint to it, like in the similar sense of what you saw on some locations, like at the farm, for instance, and things like that, which has that sort of cold, almost like inevitable hopelessness that seems to be carried in some of the like flicker energy. And whatever part of that was there seems to have made it impermeable to the fire. So you're not sure exactly how that relates magically, but that's the sense that you're getting.
Okay, I'm saying this out loud to Neil, who's presumably still outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
I say we hold on to it.
I don't know if I want to touch it.
I have my 3-foot tongs, and I'll grab the tongs.
Okay. Are you guys heading back inside and continuing on your way, though?
I think so.
Is there anything else why you guys are wanting to take this like time? We can assume you took your short rest, at least if you wanted to take a short rest. Or did you mean a long rest?
Long
that you
rest,
needed?
but
Okay.
I will take that short rest at any rate.
Okay. So we can assume this is like a short resting period, more or less, for people if people want to use hit dice to recover. Yes.
Okay. Can I read some of the book
Yeah.
while I'm watching
Which
Bonnie?
book would you like to read?
The Voyages on the Verdant Sea.
Okay. Just remember that there's not a lot of watching that you can do while you're reading. Like you can
Okay.
occasionally look up and stuff, but if she's doing something small, sleight of handy, you're not going to notice it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
But this room, there's not like.
Like if she
items
gets
in-
up and leaves, you'll notice.
Yeah.
But if she's like,
But there's no like
Fiddling
apparent
with-
items in this room.
not
Right.
that you've found.
Okay.
Voyage on the Verdant Sea, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a particular section you wanted to read out? Just flipping through?
flipping through, I suppose.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll a d10.
Okay.
While she's doing that, other people, what are you doing during your guys' downtime here? Do you want to continue reading for further knowledge, or do you want to swap to something else?
I'll change books.
Okay, to what?
So my gaffer's guide to metalworking or whatever.
Yeah.
I have.
Okay. We'll go ahead and get another intelligence check from you on that, just like the reading of that. Anetka, what are you doing?
Depending on how much time we have, she'd like to spend 8 hours working on her transmuter shawl.
Definitely. You definitely have that time. You get the rough sense that you have about, like, with the travel, you have about 10, 12 hours before you're reaching Landerhal. So as long as you're not interrupted on the road by anything,
Okay.
presumably you'd be able to do that. Where are you doing this?
She'd kind of hole herself up in the taxidermy room and only come out for meals.
Okay.
And then, if she has the extra 4 hours, she'd then switch to putting Misty Step in her spell scarf.
Okay. Probably not going to have that time at the moment. Let's just get to the first bit of this first. So you're working on that. That's fine. Tennille and Renastus, what are you guys doing during this sort of extended period of time? Is anyone keeping watch outside the window as you're all in the caravan?
Tennille would. He'd either do that or sit on the stairs and have awkward conversations with people.
Okay.
Which if anyone is willing to chat with him, he will chat with them about his ambitions to want to join a Vianthan caravan and how that all fell apart. So...
The next person who walks past Tennille is going to get a story.
No, he's just kind of like very quietly. It's like, I wanted to do this once, and then it's a whole story.
Yeah, here we are. So you can get a perception check, and you're not in sunlight, even though you're looking out. So I'll say it's a normal roll.
Okay. Let's see what it gets.
Make it big.
Well, it kept rolling. 23.
23.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, off in the distance, your journey goes pretty uneventful for the first little while. Off in the distance, you're seeing the occasional, tree and shrubberies and stuff like that. But you do see what looks like maybe a tumbleweed or something. So at first you're just like, it's a tumbleweed. And then you look again, and it's like, that's got to be a pretty big tumbleweed on the horizon there. And oh, look, there goes another one. And then there goes another one. And looking a little closer, you can actually see little branches underneath them. Like far off in the distance is like a quarter mile out. But it looks like they are striding tumbleweed branch bushes that are just moving along the horizon. There seems to be a herd, a thicket of them, whatever the collective noun would be. But they seem to be rolling / striding on their own volition. They seem to be moving in a sort of, you guys are moving to the east now. They seem to be moving in a northwesterly direction.
Hey, Canifer, can you see those things?
I cannot really see outside of my immediate vicinity, but I'm aware of all of you. I can at least, I can sort of see things on the horizon to warn you if there's something really serious going on. But what you talking about?
I'll kind of open the door and hang out the side of the door and point. Can you see where I'm pointing?
So first of all, you're hanging outside the door and you see the ground moving like you're on a cantering horse. So it's a little bit whoa, what the, because you're, you were going on a pace and you point. You see sort of a of the horse kind of turning his head. Very handsome horse. Turning your head, and now that you've directed the spirit's attention to it, it seems like it can fixate a little bit more. Oh yes, I do. Yes, I can. I can see those. Yes.
Could you if I stuck out my arm, could you get me just close enough to brush against one of them? With the liberates
no.
node.
We can try it.
Let's do it.
If you fall out, good luck.
Tiny, hold on to me.
Looks like it would be presumably somewhere upstairs. Did I hear it?
Is anyone downstairs with me?
Flows downstairs.
I have dagger eyes on Buddy James.
Grandpa?
I can help hold you.
It's a
Okay.
it's a quarter mile out. You can get Slate's attention.
Well, Bonnie James is here, it's fine.
Okay, so this will be a bit of like an
One of us has said
athletics
that
check.
second.
We'll just say with advantage from Tennille.
Dex check?
Athletics. Oh, sorry. Athletics or acrobatics, whichever is better
We're
for
gonna
you.
go with acrobatics.
Don't take a minus on that one.
I don't take a minus in anything strike related. So that is a 21.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a deviation, and you guys do notice a slight lurching. It's not fast and heavy as it would feel, you know, but you do notice a little like deviation. And as you're getting closer, you do get to get a little closer and a little closer, and these are big. You can see that this seems to be a bit of like initially what it seems to be one tumbleweed, and it's like a thorny, you know, tumbleweed looking thing, very brown. They do seem to be moving northward at a reasonable clip, faster than the caravan is going. And so it takes a little bit of angulation and stuff to actually get the right spot. But you do manage to succeed and just like, boop. When you do touch the tumbleweed, it does go in. As you do get the Lorbright essence. I'm just writing down that you got the essence there for the Lorbright, and you get the little moat going in. But you also notice that a whole bunch of them just sort of like wheel toward you a little bit, and like a thorny branch just like slaps towards your hand.
Oh boy.
So it's going to make an attack roll against you. That is going to be a 19 to hit.
That does it.
You're about to get thorned.
You take 5 points of piercing damage, and some thorns like lodge into your arm, painfully. It's not pleasant. And Cantifer is like, "Oh, watch out for those tumble terror thorns!"
Yeah, let's move away. But like before he like jumps back in, you know, just like lets out like a great like excited whoop noise, like woohoo! Like he's uncharacteristically happy.
That is the weirdest thing I've seen you do, and that's also the happiest I've seen you. But you know, good on ya. I'm gonna go back to sleep and pretend like I'm not about to die from this pirate lady.
Annette got up in her bedroom. Cantifer? What was that?
Oh, we were just making a little bit of a detour, chasing down some Tumble Terror Striders. That apparently your companion wanted to have a little gander at. He touched a green rock to it.
Him and his Lorbright, okay.
Okay. But yeah, so whatever a Tumble Terror Strider is, you now have some Lorbright for it.
Very cool.
But you guys are going back on track now. So we'll just go around. Kat, I didn't really get a sense of what you were doing during this sort of downtime period.
Renaissance, so in the garden armory room, you said that there was a staff that was emitting light?
No, there's a staff planted upright in the trough of soil there. There are a series of windows that seem to be somehow especially refracting the light, and you see there's some mirrors that seem to be capturing the light and focusing them on the plants.
Okay, I'm gonna take out my potted berry dream and my awakened shrub and position them so they're gonna get good sunlight, and maybe I presume there's probably some gardening tools nearby, maybe spend some time pruning them, taking care of them because they've been a little bit neglected.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a nature check.
I feel like I could have efficiency. Let me see. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a 22.
22, yeah. You definitely, the potted berry dream, you know, it's not looking as lively as you've seen it, but it also is not looking poor, and it seems to definitely appreciate the sunlight. You seem to remember reading a brief passage in one of the books that you found here about some of the stuff about the berry dream. So you might kind of make a mental note maybe to revisit some of that or whatever you want to do with that. But you definitely take care of it the best you know how. Give it some water, prune it up a little bit and stuff like that. And you do see what look like the beginnings of some buddings that are forming around its shape. The awakened shrub does like a shiver shush of its like leaves, like a which you take to mean that it seems to be enjoying the attention and additional sunlight and pruning and stuff. You feel like you're definitely getting some needed time to help care for the plants in the way that they need it. Okay, so let's track everyone's rolls here, starting with Flo. What did we get here on your D10?
5.
A 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you flipped to a section about the Shipscorn Spiral, which is there on the Verdant Sea. You guys can see it on the map if you want to. It's also known as the vortex that swallows navies off the eastern coast of Umara. It is said to either be a portal to the elemental plane of water or the result of a conclave of storm giant kings channeling their power beneath the waves. Generally, all sailors avoid it, although it famously was used in the trickery of the Smiling Gentleman with Corallax the Dragon Turtle and tricking it back into that area, never to be seen again. So that's generally the main section that you guys are seeing there.
Is it storm giant
So the
beings
glare,
or what?
like,
Yeah, it's right here.
gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But
Yeah, it's either known as a portal to the elemental plane of water, or is a result of a conclave of storm giant kings channeling their power from beneath the waves. So that's kind of the section you're reading about and some of the stuff you're looking at. Yeah. What'd you get?
Maybe hold on to this for a while like this.
Yes.
It's not 20.
Everyone's got to take their turn.
What
Well,
was that
congratulations.
20 that I was holding for so long.
Nat 20. All right. Yeah. I mean, you got a couple successes already, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So yeah, you can mark another 2 successes. Which puts you to a total of what? 4. Yeah. So you feel like you at least are having some basics, and you're eager to try out with some practical knowledge now. You have that forge upstairs, and you feel like you want to get some practice using some of those skills. You could probably try and at least fashion some basics and stuff like that, like a dagger or whatever. We all know you like daggers.
Dagger, you say?
At least as like a start to get your, and some of this is basics in terms of not just weaponry, but like farming equipment and horseshoes and like other stuff. So you can practice around for a little bit with what we might term low value things, where the risk is not as high for ruining your purchased materials and stuff like that.
Got it.
So yeah. All right. Any other standing roles or things? You were working on your shawl, which is underway, but definitely still a long process. You're noticing some of the other like taxidermy things here in the room, as well. But there's not too much more that I hadn't already mentioned. At least, I think initially. Let me think about what we've got here. Let me look at the sections. Are there any other rooms that people want to explore? Sections of stuff during the downtime that you guys want to take some time to look at or investigate? Go ahead.
I'll spend some time looking at that the staff that's in the trough.
Okay, yeah. It is carved to look like it has like flowers blooming out of the top of it. And when touched, it feels soft like petals and stuff at the top, even though it seems like it's not moving, like it's sturdy and stiff like wood would be, but is soft in its texture like a flower petal at the top. So you definitely can tell it's unusual. Do you want to make an Arcana check for me, please? Anetka, one thing you're noticing some other movement in the room. So definitely there's that strange bone white worm in the lime green clay terrarium situation.
I'm gonna name you Ted.
Okay. There seems to be what looks like a twitching talon bone of some kind of reasonably large. You do see the little plaque that says Talon Bone of Javira Thrax Kindwing, may she rest in peace, but it seems to be
Hello.
kind of moving. It's long. It's probably, it's a talon bone sort of section, but it's about this long, so it's pretty big. Just shy of like maybe 8-10 inches long. The other thing you're noticing is that there looks to be a small, tiny stone angel statue that seems to be like moving occasionally when you like look back and look away.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah, it's not necessarily moving toward you, just like moving around.
Have fun being alone in that room.
But you do see it has a little like label that kind of like lands with it wherever it goes. It's got like a little base basically. It just says purchased off a red saber pirate vessel in B1.
Huh. I might like this.
Red saber.
So, but in general, what was your Arcana check there, Renasis?
18.
18. Yeah, you're pretty sure this has some kind of magical properties based on some of the carvings that seem to be at the base of where the flowers meet the normal like wood staff part of it. Even just the fact that it was like planted in the soil, it looks like it's got a root structure or carved to have a root structure. It doesn't seem like it's literally like tuberous and rooting in the soil. But you also notice that the soil seems to have some like mulch nature to it, so there's definitely some more interests here as well. But you're pretty sure that the staff has some magical property of a kind. So, okay. So what's everyone doing during this long period? We can just skip past this, but if there's a time that you guys, I know you're working on your shawl.
We had a short rest, right? That
Yeah, you guys had some short rest time. But is there other stuff that you guys want to work on consistently over this period of time?
Can I investigate my pistol?
Yeah, you can. Are you wanting to just
While
kind
still
of
watching
passively take it apart, or do you want to go? Are you going to like take it apart and use tools to really
I
like
want
pull
to
it
do that,
apart?
but I'm not ready to do that with Bonnie James right here. So
Okay.
I just want to look at my gun.
Okay.
Really?
Go ahead and make
admire it
a
and clean
polish
it
your
and
gun.
yeah investigation gun.
Look at her every
Investigation
once in a while
investigation
while I'm
gun.
polishing it.
This is my investigation.
Pow! Show me your secrets.
Oh dang. Well, I'm really distracted with Bonnie James.
What's your total?
6.
Yeah, you're messing around with it a little bit, and you're like, and you discharge it accidentally, so you're down a lumen dust.
Watch it.
You gotta roll better.
And a bullet.
And a bullet.
Okay.
And Cantifer's like, oh my goodness! That was a turn! Please refrain from damaging any of the interior. It takes a long time to sort out stuff like that.
I'm sorry.
Did it take down the wagon's hit points at all?
No, not in a significant
okay.
way. Bonnie James is like, what in the bloody hell was that? You don't have to kill me. I'll do what I want.
I told you it's a dangerous place.
Okay,
down here.
okay, yeah. God. My gods. Just, I don't, you don't have to, I don't want to go upstairs. Fine.
50 sessions from now, we meet the BBEG. It's Bonnie James.
Bonnie James.
Like, she wasn't evil before she met us, but
We were
after.
the turning point.
Flow was the turning point.
Like, we've been sassy. You keep threatening to kill her.
Flo's okay with that.
Okay, so, but no, unfortunately you do not gain any other insight. You get the sense
Yeah.
that maybe you have to take it apart. You also do recall seeing both the cackler, may he rest in feathered peace, and also Renostis fiddling around with tools and tinkering stuff, so you might conscript Ren's help to get some better insight in this. That might be an option as well.
That's the goal. I just don't want to leave Bonnie.
So, with that, other stuff that people want to do? Yes, Brandon?
All the time, buddy. Oh, you mean right now? Yes. So I have that damaged halberd from stabbing an ooze or whatever it was. No, this was from the mimic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
yeah.
That's right. From the inside of the mimic.
Can I attempt to repair it?
Yeah. You have smithing tools and stuff. You'd have to go to the forge
Yeah.
space, and while you might not need the forge per se, a lot of this is like sharpening and like a grindstone, like that kind of situation.
Okay.
This is mostly eating some of the edge out of the weapon. So go ahead and make a
Athletics? You know, you like it.
not athletics.
What? You were working at it. It's a full body thing.
I would say this is more of like a fine hands dexterity
Yep.
check situation. So we'll just call it a dexterity roll. If you're proficient with blacksmithing or smithing tools, then you can go ahead and add your proficiency to that as well.
Cool.
I would say, depending on your roll, will affect how long it takes and stuff, and how
Understood.
successful you are.
Alright, come on, roll well. That was. That's that one. That'll be 15.
15. It's gonna take you a couple hours and stuff like that, and you do, but you do manage to, over time, repair the damage to it. We'll say.
Cool. For success.
So, you probably might require some tools.
Yeah, Smith's tools.
Sorry, some like materials that are worth value. Well, for this maybe not so much because you're not really like replacing any metal here. You're just like taking burrs out of the blade and stuff like that. So, for this, I would say yeah, it just takes you some time, but you're able to succeed. So.
I have plenty of material and daggers.
Yeah, you take a while. It just takes a little while. So that's going to cover up some of your time. But what else are we doing here, team? We can move forward and fast forward this section. But if there's other stuff you want to use this downtime for, while you guys are traveling, you're rolling along and don't notice any particular trouble or travel along the traveling road.
And Etka literally never takes a break or leaves her room.
I would probably wait till Flo is not engaged with her gun and go take a bath.
Okay, yeah. So you notice, the lovely warm water. It seems to be still warm, and steamed. It definitely also catches your eye to see the stuff in the tanks again, particularly the constantly backward flowing fountain, but also the little ship that's on the water that's just like, on the water, and the broken seahorse statue. Made of coral. But otherwise, yeah, you're able to get a nice bath in and stuff. There's soaps and things like that there on the shelf. It doesn't seem like they're self-replenishing or anything like the one that Bunny James used is like there on the side, but there's a couple soaps and things like that.
There's the most floral scented one you can find.
Yeah, there's some floral scents. There's like a musky scent. There's like a floral scent. There's like a wood scent.
Yeah, we'll go for the wood scent. We'll go like the woodsy.
Yeah. So you're able to definitely get clean, and it feels so nice to have just the warmth relaxing those muscles and all the tension and stuff like that. You definitely feel like, you're still got that tiredness and that sort of like everything's a little harder to enjoy. Everything's a little harder to like, feel motivated to do. But on the other hand, like, this is feeling nice. And it's been a while since Tennille's had a hot bath.
Oh, yeah. So
that is definitely a nice thing to enjoy. 100%. So it's not quite as nice as like the spice baths that Rostabun had in the suite, but it's up there for sure.
While he's in the bath, he's gonna ask Cantifer, is there anything that you need for upkeep? Like, I don't know if you eat or magic that you need or anything we can do to make your life easier.
Oh well, that's just so sweet of you. No, I mean not really. I don't eat. No physical body. This is all for show out here. But also, I will take whatever shape works the best. But generally, what pleases me, usually Big Hound or is my favorite. But the horse is usually pretty inconspicuous. I'll need magical tools and things to repair if I get damaged or hurt. But otherwise, no, I don't require upkeep so much. The materials in the space, I can store, food and things like that, but I can't conjure it, so you will need to restore that of your own volition, but I think you can manage that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, thank you, Cantifer.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All you do. I do have one small request, and I know that this is not a permanent request, but when we get closer to Landerhal, it might be smart if you don't look exactly the same as you did when we you first arrived, just to not make anyone paranoid.
Got it. Okay.
But I mean, otherwise, you can be as fabulous as you want, as long as we're not trying to be sneaky or nondescript or what have you.
Not sneaky?
Well, I mean, if we're trying to be sneaky, obviously we might want to go for muted colors. But otherwise, when we're just traveling, I imagine you can do probably be as fabulous as you'd like.
I do like to be fabulous. Okay. Duly noted.
Okay. And get dressed and go back out and
Right.
make sure Flo hasn't killed Bonnie James while he's bathing.
Asher rolls a whole bunch of dice.
It's for my hit points.
Oh.
And I
All right.
stabbed her in the gut, and I stabbed her in the eye,
Yeah.
and
All right. So as the travel period rolls on,
Do any of us want to rest, take a rest and take watches as we're resting, since it is
Didn't
12?
we rest like not too long before we fought the what's his face?
No, but we're gonna be getting into the city pretty late.
I think it might be a good idea if some of us took baths before we interacted with the people of Landerhal.
okay. I mean, we can say that you all take turns taking a bath and watching Bonnie James in shifts. And
Annette stays in her room working on her shawl.
okay.
Well, if
Interesting show.
it's people come trickling through, I will take the time to sit in the corner quietly after well, no, I was keeping watch. I can't do it. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to take a rest so I could get some handsome ability when we get to the city, but that's okay. Flo's done the talking.
Well, if you only need 4 hours, you might be able to find some time to do that if someone else takes a shift on looking outside and things like that.
Okay.
So I'd say it's about 6 hours into the journey. You guys have covered a good portion of distance, probably about a little less than halfway back to town. In this little six hour jaunt. But if you want to take a rest during that and stuff like that, that's up to you.
I would want to.
As
Yeah.
with a 4 hour turnaround on an elf, you could probably do that. And since this time is going to be a little bit lax and stuff like that, as far as someone else can roll on a watch front for perception while that's happening, and someone can watch Bonnie James while Flo takes her bath if she wants to take a break. But otherwise, yeah, that'll be fine. So go ahead and who's on the watch while Tennille's doing his meditative rest?
I can be. Would I have time to do that and identify the staff?
Yeah, I mean,
identify the staff first.
Yeah, identify the staff doesn't take very long. Are you ritual casting it or hard casting it?
I'll ritual cast.
Okay, so you take some time, you get out your little lenses, and you're like, yes, rawr. You drip a fluid onto it for some reason, and just look at how it bubbles on the surface, and you're like, yes, magical. This is a staff of flowers, so it can be used to conjure bouquets of flowers once per turning, and can be used as a druidic spell focus as well. So mostly for show and aesthetics and stuff like that, but yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, Igranopal, I've been working on my weapons. I can go take a look if you want to do something.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so you want to do a perception check while Renostus does something else?
Give other people a chance to do something.
Bonnie James sleeping.
She seems to be, although she's snoring suspiciously loudly.
To help with the snoring.
Please don't strangle her.
Can I pull out my smiling wand and just point it at her and see what happens?
Okay, you're gonna try and use it as the Wand of Smiles. What's the DC? It's
I don't
10,
know.
right?
I don't have anything.
Oh, we don't
for
have a
it.
card for that. Okay.
No.
I think it's DC 10.
Okay.
It's 10, yeah.
It's not
It's the wand of smiling. For
yeah,
goodness sake.
it's not a hyper-powered item. I think it's a charisma save or a wisdom save, maybe.
When does Flo make a roll? Because I know she has to at some point. Is that for charges?
For which?
For the wand of smiles? Because I know it at one's into the wand of frowns, which is hilarious. Which, if that now one's
It's also still amusing.
Wand of Smiles. It's got 3 charges, and then when it uses its last charge, it does that. So DC 10, charisma save. She got a 15, so unfortunately, you do it, and you're like... but it doesn't seem to have much an effect other than just like a... She just sort of like shifts a little bit and like rubs her face for a second.
So that
You don't
takes
have,
a charge.
That takes a charge, yeah.
Okay, how many?
3.
And 3, and it's just 3. That's it.
It gains a charge back at dawn,
Okay.
but when it uses its last charge, you have to roll a d20, and on one it becomes a Wand of Scowls.
Okay.
Which I think becomes a Wand of Smiles if you not won that one. So, you know.
Yeah.
So, okay. Renostis with this other time, well, what was your roll?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You begin to see off on the distance silhouettes of several shapes moving toward you. Some look like they're mounted, others look like they're on foot. There's over a dozen of them, but you can't get much more at this distance. They seem like they're over a mile out.
I'll raise the alarm. And, hey, we got, good baker's dozen of people out there. Some mounted, some are not.
I'd say you probably got at least an hour before they actually get them.
About an hour.
Okay.
Or it'd probably be less than that, but...
I guess I'd ask Cantifer to relay this.
Yeah.
But
When we get to the city, obviously Blue here is going to do some of the talking, but do we want anyone else? I can give a little boost to 2 people for an hour.
who do we want to balance out Flo?
I'm assuming
Not
she's
a
still,
Netka.
She's still
upstairs.
working.
Yeah.
Who amongst us would like to balance out Flo?
I need balance.
Who would you like?
I have great balance. I lived on a ship for my whole life.
Who would you like to have your back during this conversation?
Not a Nitka.
Not a Netka.
Tennille, you want to join me?
Sure.
Awesome.
He looks very pleased that you chose him.
So you guys go onward for a little bit, knowing that this is on the horizon.
As they would get closer, I would cast Enhance ability at 3rd level on both of us. For
Okay.
charisma checks.
Got it.
Cool. Thank you.
Good. That's good. So during this last little bit, Renostis, since you weren't on watch, was there something you wanted to do? As you finish a mouthful of food?
He's
He's snacking. He's snacking.
He's eating oatmeal.
Yeah, he's a snacky grandpa.
Just straight oats, not even oatmeal.
Oatmeal's like depression as a food form. Never oatmeal. But
I am offended by your opinion of oatmeal, but go on.
I might spend some time looking at the soil too, doing the same sort of tests. Maybe I'll taste a bit of it.
Yep, okay. As you would.
As you would.
Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, this is verdant mulch, which you do recognize in your previous work. You probably wouldn't need too much identifying past, tasting it and feeling it around and stuff. But it's especially valuable gardening soil. It tends to expedite the rate of growth and the rate of recovery for damaged plants, especially. As the name implies, it comes from Verda. It's usually composed of a mixture of different leaf and moss and lichens that are decomposed into a sort of mulchy type situation there, and their nutrients are re-imbibed into whatever's planted in there. So at the moment, nothing is really planted in the mulch. The other plants that are there that you see, they're in like separate little... nothing's planted in the trough, I should say. But you do see these other pots that had the other plants there, and they look like they also have verdant mulch in their pots. You do notice what look like metal filings in one of them, which is kind of interesting, but otherwise, yeah, that's generally the lay of the earth there. But as you guys move along, having done this various mixture of investigations and settling into your new homes and checking out some of the things, practicing and sharpening your skills, On the horizon now, you can clearly see that there seems to be a mixture of individuals coming your guys' way. You see what look like 7 mounted individuals, although they're not moving very quickly on their horses. They seem to have a mix match of different colored and dyed armors and clothing from different groups and cultures. You recognize the forefront of these as with the sort of slightly balding, red-haired Captain Edric Maligan of the Motley, the guy who you first saw when you were crossing over the double bridges to get to Landerhal. And along with them is a full unit of 10 Duskdveils. You see them on foot, and they, very easily recognizable with their mixture of weaponry, their sort of longer, almost robe-like armor that's belted towards them, or on them, and their, of course, sort of devil-shaped, sort of purple, dark blue navy masks. The leader has a white mask among them, and which you guys recognize as well, but they're sort of heading in your guys' general direction. You've got some time to go out and receive them, to stay in the wagon, but they are heading in your guys' direction. This is about 9 hours into your journey, so you've clearly maybe 8 or 9 hours into your journey. You guys have made most of the distance their way, and they've made a little bit of distance. You can't quite see Landerhal off in the distance, but you surmise that it took them a while for them to get all their stuff together and come this way, and you're meeting them not halfway, but along the road.
What was the captain's name again?
Edric Maligan is he's the Motley captain.
You said it's been about 8 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll say you've finished that, but you wouldn't have the time to have also put in the 4 hours for Misty Step.
Yeah, but you see, as she finishes it, Annette it's done! It's done! It's done! And she starts yelling, and she just pounds down the stairs. Flo! Hi! Hey! Hey! How are you?
You seem very excited.
Yeah, I am. And you can see, one braid is down, one's looped, her hair is completely messed. She is not taking advantage of the bath. And in her arm, she has, this black and yellow. You can see black and yellow and white. It's still folded up. It's oh, buddy, you're still alive. Cool. So this is low. Well, it's kind of for the whole group, but I thought, you might be able to use it first with, the giggling and she unfolds the shawl, and it's like a black and yellow striped shawl with 2 patches of round knit white sewn onto it. It's a bee. It's a bee shawl. So,
Oh my god! I love it.
So this will be, for the whole group, where the Beewildered, but with the, the laughing, the giggling, I think I can set this to different things. It's kind of on different settings. Kind of like a knitting loom. I don't know. But basically, if you wear this, while it's on you, you might have a little bit more fortitude against the laughter. You'll have, I've set it to proficiency in con saving throws.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I figured, maybe we kind of pass it along. Once you feel like you're not giggly, you could maybe pass it to Neil or me or Slate. And I can also change what it does. I could give you dark vision. But I have to have it on me, and I'd have to levitate Slate or enlarge him or something.
Little one.
Hi!
Calm. Breathe. In. Out. The Duskdveils are here.
Oh,
So why don't you go take a nice bath?
yeah, sounds good. Hands are shaking. She has been working.
Grandma,
oh God.
why don't you
How
get
long
little
is
one
it?
some tea and make sure she takes a nice bath, and Flo and I will go talk to the nice men
Yeah.
with swords.
Yeah, wear your bee shawl.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God.
Some hashtag bee branding.
How long have I been crunched? What time is it?
At this stage, it would be about 7 hours after mid-turning.
God, I need to pee too. Okay, I shall run into the bath.
The bath or the bathroom?
In the bathroom.
Well, that is impressive. She's a lot. Do you want me outside? I might
Uh,
help out with the whole, like, one of the locals, give you the help? Or do you want me just stay in here, or she's gonna stab me kind of deal? I mean, she discharged her gun, which I didn't even she know she had.
I mean,
Which is pretty impressive. I might, have to have a look at that. But in any case,
what do you think? Do you think that you would be...
who doesn't love me?
Many people, apparently, but...
Bonnie, how about we all just go? The four of us.
That sounds like a good idea.
We'll
How
just- as a
about
group.
we leave our weapons? Because when we got to the city, we didn't have the greatest welcome.
We're outside. They'll understand. Also, do you know how many weapons I have on me? Like, we're approaching 50.
Alright, I think we need to ask, can I borrow one of your daggers?
Am I gonna get it back?
Consider it a loan.
Thank you, because I don't have anything I can throw.
I have a
Actually,
lot of them.
did the cackler have a crossbow?
Yeah, he had a crossbow.
I'll just take the cackler.
He had a light crossbow.
I'll take the light crossbow that belongs to the cackler instead. Never mind.
If
Okay.
you want a javelin, have one of those too.
Point of order also, by the way, you can go ahead and make a con saving throw because you did take a long rest.
Oh, alright, roll well.
I've got food inspiration if I need it.
That's what you're doing.
Remember how rolls are big.
What do we get?
Big use of food inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Good luck.
Oh, there's 20!
All right.
There we go.
So go ahead and roll 1d6.
Oh, I'm still not good.
Yeah.
20
Two.
can't hurt.
Okay. So your DC goes down by 2.
Okay.
Mm.
But does my exhaustion go away, or do I
Nope.
still have that?
Still there.
Okay.
Not until you've fully been cured.
Okay.
But you guys go out to meet the entourage that is sort of the mixed motley that is heading you guys' direction. But before we get to that, why don't we take a quick break? I know it's been a little slow as you guys are exploring the various sort of knickknacks and time for downtime.
That's so much more exploration.
But I hope everyone's still engaged, so we'll take a quick break here. Yes?
And before we walk out the door, I'll give us the enhance ability.
Okay.
So that they don't see me casting it, but, we have
you have the benefit. Nice.
Christmas checks.
All right. So we're picking up right where we left off with the party getting ready to receive and be received by this mixed group of Duskdveils and motley guards, led by Captain Edric Maligan of the Motley, who they recognize at a distance. Tennille and Flo, as well as Bonnie James and Slate, are all stepping out of the wagon, which has slowed, it seems like, rather sort of like self-slowing, so it doesn't seem like it's hurtling past at its faster rate. It just looks like it's slowed to a normal caravan speed to connect with this group. And at this, you see Captain Maligan raise his hand towards he raises his hand a little bit towards the other Motley, but he spurs his horse on and comes up. The Duskdveils clearly are a little bit nonplussed by this, and there's sort of a rustling shift, and that you can see their walking pace kind of speeds up a little bit to catch up. But Captain Maligan comes up and he says, "Hail! I am gladdened to see that you have made it back well, and mostly with your well-being and sanity intact, although a few of you look a little bit rougher around the edges. It was by order of the Lady Governess that we come and receive you. We have a bit of company who insisted that they come with as well. A full battalion of 100 Duskdveils has been stationed here at Landerhal to help shore up border support in the recent unpleasantness. And their shield captain, Brecker, has insisted that you were escorted directly by Duskdveils as well as the local motley guard. In any case, I apologize for any concern this may raise, but they will likely insist that you travel with them, and there might be a few questions that are required to be answered before they come across. I have to quickly say, it's a tense situation, and for the most part, you are going to be interviewed by a questioner who has been brought up from Shadvir directly. I highly suggest that you be forthright in this information. The skirmish on the border has left everyone quite uneasy, and your account is viewed in suspicion.
They're referring to the explosions that happened to the mirror blades?
Yeah.
Okay.
But in any case, great, and he's kind of speaking again as the others sort of arrive up. In any case, it is my honor to welcome back the Bewildered from their successful bid to face down and defeat the caravan. Our Lady Governess Van Hild was most grateful and pleased with your success and with the retrieval of her daughter, as well as others from the carnival. Are they all stashed within the wagon? Is that it must be quite crowded and uncomfortable in there?
Yes.
It's a squeeze. There's a reason a bunch of us are out here.
Well, in any case, it is, I believe that you have already met First Sergeant Leslin and much of the company Duskdveils that are here as before. And at this, the white-masked Duskdevil steps forward. This is the same individual who greeted you on the second part of the bridge before, and says, "Hail. Well, I am glad that all of you are well, as the Magi stashed away.
The Magi?
Your...
Yeah, she's watching the others. That we
Oh yeah,
rescued.
yes. She's.
Thank you. That is good to know. As Captain Maligan hastily might have said, Sealed Captain Brecker and a battalion of Duskdveils has come to station and shore up the borders to ensure no further breach of the Border City Peace Agreement is undertaken. But with him came a questioner of St. Ord to interview all of you about your recounting of the scene as it was. And what further might unfold will certainly depend on your answers to said questions. We will be ensuring that there is no foul play along the road here, and that the poor souls who were victimized by this caravan, by this carnival, are seen safely back to the Pavilion Palace and to Lady Van Hild in the case of her daughter. While my personal feelings are irrelevant, and only the word of Commander and Archon are important, you have my thanks for your efforts in aiding the Shaded Reach. It was unexpected and is worthy of remark.
Thank you.
So it's probably reasonable to let you guys know all those people we rescued, they're all pretty deep in the laughter hole.
Yes, well, that is an unfortunate turn of events. Yes, you can tell there's definitely some tension between the different guard groups. But Captain Maligan is sort of interceding again, says, yes, we noticed that there was a bit of a change in the carnival victims at the Pavilion Palace. They seemed to be a bit more listless and only occasionally laughing, while the city is a bit quieter now. We're not sure if that bodes well, or if it mostly indicates that we are hopeful that it might mean some sort of improvement, but at least a reduction in danger in their maintenance. But yes, in fact, so far we have not seen any recoveries, but at least we are able to more easily maneuver and manage, especially our newcoming garrison.
They did the victims that we recovered did seem to become less frenetic, as hyper once the leader was taken out, but not cured entirely.
Yes, far from perfect, but an improvement nonetheless, and you have at least, of course, bravely rescued them from the jaws of their laughing torment, and have done well in that regard, for sure. I'm glad to see that all of you have at least maintained your sanity and can attest to your veracity of what you relayed to us in of the encounter, as well as, of course, your innocence in this matter, which I'm sure no one doubts here. In any case, why don't we continue along? It seems that you were able to make quite good haste since you contacted us, perhaps already on the road when you reached out.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
You can tell this is a mighty fine stallion. As I'm like,
The stallion, Cantifer, is quite silent, but he does sort of like paw the ground and toss his mane a little like...
Like a L'Oreal commercial kind of hair.
Yeah, kind of, you know.
Maybelline. That's a nat 20 for a total of 18.
For total-
Tragic.
oh no.
Well, I'm sure the lady will be pleased that you have returned with such due concern and focus without deviation from course. And First Sergeant Leslin sort of surveys the scene a little like, you know, head tilt with the mask going on situation. He said, very well. Duskdveils, fall in. Defensive perimeter, escort the wagon. And you see they all say, yes, sir! And immediately just like disperse around in like a defensive, almost like diamond shape around the wagon. There's a good, maybe 10 feet at the widest from the wagon, but just generally like a good defensive cluster around the wagon. You're going to be a lot slower in this last little bit because you're traveling as fast as a foot individual on foot. But the motley also sort of form a sort of loose scouting exterior, but Captain Maligan stays right close to the wagon. He's the closest, aside from First Sergeant Leslin. So you guys are like all walking and doing that. And First Sergeant Leslin, on your way back to the city, First Sergeant Leslin says, well, are the rest of your companions going to join us, or are they staying inside amidst all of this mess with the various individuals you've returned? The old man and the magi, yes?
Yeah, they're inside. Would you like them to walk with us?
I would prefer if all of them were within our view, particularly the wizard.
So, can we leave one inside to watch the laughing people?
Make a persuasion check.
I mean, sure, okay.
The Old Man and the Magi definitely sounds like a fantasy series.
I like it.
9.
I imagine that if you have taken smart precautions, they will be fine as they are, but if you wish, I can nominate one of my Duskdveils here to oversee them within while all of you are here without.
Sure, that will be fine. Just give me a moment to go retrieve them, and I'll go back into the caravan, and,
Oh, wait, what? We don't want them inside.
we don't want them inside.
You said yes.
I said that won't be a problem. I think
To
that's what I said.
to get our people.
Yeah, that should be I'll go retrieve our friends.
Very well.
Do you want us to get the laughing people out? Give them some air?
I don't believe that is a good idea. I don't want to risk the contagion.
Okay, I will go into the caravan and shut the door, and seeing Nicholas in the bathroom, just, time to finish up!
I am still washing my hair!
The Duskdveils want us out now!
They threatened to cut off my fingers!
And they're going to threaten to burn down the caravan if we don't get everyone out there. So let's...
Fine. She comes out, shampoo still in her hair.
I'll, prestidigitate, as much of it off as I can.
Yeah.
Oh, she'll, hurriedly braid it and head out.
Ah, yes. Well, I'm glad we're all finally here. Not a word or a spell from you. Yes, thank you very much. We will be moving along here in this pleasant and comfortable, companionable silence, all of us. If you attempt to escape, you will be subdued. Understood?
Better than cut down.
And Kat is very deliberately trying not to speak, and she just nods and stands by. if Tennille and Slate are near each other, she'll kind of like she's trying to stand by the people who will stop her if she does something stupid.
I appreciate the full side thing.
And Captain Maligan says, I would say that such esteemed allies of the Shaded Reach are worthy of not only protection, but our respect, as they were able to do something that the rest of us were not in seeing to this carnival. But in any case, perhaps silence is not unwelcome, given all the noise that we are all have been strained under, is perhaps what Sergeant Leslin means. First, Sergeant Leslin. Yes, first, Sergeant Leslin. Yes, we're on our way. And you guys make your way to the two double bridges of...
Pull my hat out.
Yeah, of Landerhal. And you see, again, the sort of woven threads and magical, seeming shimmering, like woven wall of the exterior of the city. And you see the sort of parting curtain of the gates as they are open up to allow, in a good 20-foot wide space, it is easily enough for all of your group to come by. And, you know, you see the stone tree, hanging with its lights and in the center of the Valley of the Shrines. And you see the great bonfire not far from that. Again, you do notice, as mentioned before, the rather lack of constant barbed bladed laughter that you were hearing before when you came to the city, which is both a mark of accomplishment seeming, but also, you know, an eerie change in the experience as you are arriving. But what you're most captured by is that rather than being received by Akulukan, the tattooed centaur, you have quite the reception party, as there is a 3/4 circle of Dusk Devil troops sort of allowing for a reception area. And among them are 3 individuals who are standing out front. One is someone familiar to you, someone in iron gray hair, sort of bluish eyes, and sort of pale-ish skin, very weathered looking, wearing sort of nice robes and sort of scarf situation. This is Lady Van Hild, Lady Briska Van Hild, the governess of Landerhal. Beside her appears to be what looks like a Dusk Devil, judging by armor and mask and stuff, but his this individual's mask is a dark maroony red, and it has black, like, triangle tears dripping down to almost the mouth. And clearly standing at the head of this. And beside them is a human-looking human male, pale, very southern heritage in his hair color, and iron gray, intelligent-looking eyes scanning all of you immediately. He's got sort of a heavily lined face, mostly salt now in his salt and pepper hair. He's got a clean-shaven, and he's wearing what looks like a black and white coat that's got like a robe bit underneath, but otherwise could be like a leather duster kind of look. It has a mantle and lapels, and it's emblazoned with a set of, it's black and white, black on one side, white on the other, and it's emblazoned with a set of golden scales over his heart. And you can see it looks like he's wearing a set of, like a breastplate underneath. He's already got his, a set of what look like scales out in his hand, and they're also black and white, and the rod of metal, which is a black metal, is capped in what looks like silver or maybe platinum. So those of you who have some southern heritage and familiarity with the Shaded Reach, I would say Tennille, since you were, I would say you can roll there. Anetka, we can all our roll. Slate, you can also roll. Go ahead and roll a history check or a religion check, whichever is better for you.
Nope, I don't remember anything. Not 20?
20. Yes. For a 28.
Very nice.
Ooh.
19 for also 28.
Okay. So Saint Ord is the root word for the word order, and is the god, is the patron saint who ascended to godhood or divinity by inventing laws and order, bringing laws and order to chaos in mortal kind, depending on the religious story that you believe. But his priests range from everything from inquisitors to justices to peacekeepers, and everything in the society there, but they generally are very law-abiding individuals. This individual with the scales that he has means he has the right to question people up to like the rank of like a governing individual and imprison them or jail them if he believes that is right to do. So clearly someone of high skill and stuff like that. And that kind of helps, aside from the military force that's in front of you, helps relay how seriously this is being taken. In some ways more seriously than the troops in front of you is this individual and the captain beside him. But they are definitely known for their ability to ferret out the truth. Questioners are known for their ability to ferret out the truth, even delving into the minds of their individuals they're interviewing, as well as being able to exact rebuke on those who tell lies and things like that. But the individual who steps forward first is the shield captain of the Duskdveils, masked with the red and the tear stripes. All the Duskdveils are exactly the same height. They all appear to be about 6'4", 6'5". And they're all looking to be the exact same body type. You can't tell male from female. They all look the same. This individual is no different aside from their mask. He steps forward and he says, "Hail, Beewildered and heroes of Shadvir in some manner in this. We appreciate your assistance to the Shaded Reach in aiding the Lady Van Hild and Landerhal against this malicious carnival threat. The Reach and its great leaders have expressed their will regarding concerns with this recent skirmish, potentially with mirror blades, and accusations stand on both sides. We would like to ferret out the truth. Much of our own history tells us that only regret and betrayal come from trusting the Northerners, the Magi, but some exceptions are also known. It is my personal hope, though my personal feelings are not of import, that this will be an exception. The word of the Archon is law. Truth is to be determined regarding this border conflict, and reparations are demanded for the lives of my comrades. Questioner Maynard Qualn, here of St. Ord, shall determine the veracity of your claims, and thence deliver which of the Archon's following verdicts that he has given to me shall be dispensed." Questioner Qualn, and you see the individual step forward. He doesn't seem to waste much time. He just looks over you with this like very piercing look. Each one of you looking very carefully, and you see him raise his scales, and you see them tilt one direction, and you feel sort of a odd tinge run over, like the prickles over your hair raising on your arms, the back of your neck. And he says, "By order of the Archon Gareth Lumoria, you are hereby required to recount your version of the events regarding both the fire at the local inn here in Landerhal known as the Ram and Shackle, as well as your witness to the devastation of the Duskdveil unit to determine the degree of violence and violation of the Border City Peace Agreement. You are not permitted to ask questions of your own during this interview and are strongly urged to speak fully in the truth. Do you understand what I'm telling you?"
Yes.
I understand.
Very well. We will get out with this matter over with immediately. To what degree were you involved in the fire at the Ram and Shackle? Are you aware of the criminal record of your former associate known as the Cackler?
None, and not to our knowledge.
Okay. Alrighty. So, let me look up some things.
You have never seen an actor look more terrified than this specific moment. Like,
Yeah.
it's comparable to we are in a meeting with the Shining Hand.
Like reaches out and just like grabs your hand.
So everyone needs to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Charisma.
Do we have That's
No.
not a saving throw.
It's not. I didn't think it would have worn off by this point.
I'm gonna use my.
How long does it last? An hour?
And only an hour, yeah. But it's only ability checks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely would have
I
fit.
used my inspiration.
All right.
19.
19. Okay. That is a pass.
Not 20 for 23.
Nice. That's a pass. Renostus.
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
You're muted.
Not saving throw, just charisma check.
Charisma saving throw.
It do be a throw.
18.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
13.
Okay. So, he kind of looks to all of you. I will need you to explain in detail and describe the scene in which you discovered the slain Duskdveils.
Well, we were traveling, and we saw an explosion, or we didn't see explosions. We saw lights. This is Felina trying to actually remember what we saw.
I know. Yeah.
So lights in the distance. We thought it was a brigade of mirror blades. Was it?
Oh, we saw lights. We thought it might be mirror blades. We continued on. By the time we arrived at the scene, the battle had basically been concluded.
Yeah, I
we-
mean, there were like scorch marks and craters.
We
and-
found the aftermath and wondered what had happened.
Body parts every which
Body
way.
part, yeah, there were body parts every which way. We came across an Etten individual, had a small skirmish with him, and then we're on our way to the city.
And this Etten individual, did you perhaps... Was it your perception that this was merely a carrion-like lingering on a battlefield, or the cause of this concern? Did you see Mirrorblade forces and evidence of the movement through this scene?
I mean, there are mirror blade bodies everywhere.
There were Mirrorblades among the fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Etten was there for his centaur friends. He was angry about the centaurs that were slaughtered and was looking to exact revenge against those who had done it.
Is there also dead centaurs there? I don't remember.
Yeah,
There were dead centaurs.
It was a mixture of dead centaurs, dead mirror blades, and yeah, the Seton just was
And Duskdveils as
And
well.
Duskdveils.
and Duskdveils. The Seton just seemed a bit. Didn't seem the brightest. He just wanted to protect his friends, and the only reason we got in a skirmish is he didn't know what side we were on. But once we cleared that up, went on his way.
He departed alive, this Etten.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Interesting.
Sometimes we can be diplomatic.
News of this Etten and the Mirror Blades being among the fallen is news to us. Did their wounds seem also inflicted by these crater attacks?
Do we remember that?
Did we even look?
I don't know that we looked.
I don't know.
they-
It's just a lot of dead things.
Yeah, and they-
really disturbing. I don't know that I wanted to look that long.
Yeah, they were in pieces, but every dead body at the scene was in pieces. So
Wasn't the Etten attacking mirror blades specifically?
Yes.
yeah. The Etten was probably attacking the mirror blades specific
From-
because they were attacking the centaurs. So
Yeah. From the Etten's perspective, he thought the mirror blades had attacked the centaurs.
Ah, yes, we all know what skilled deductionists Ettens are.
Indeed.
Interesting. Did you see any discharging of weapons that would have caused this result? Do you have any evidence or direct witness account pointing to the Mirror Blades' usage of these weapons?
Don't think so.
No, I mean the battle was done by the time we arrived.
So you saw glinting lights in the distance. What made you think it was Mirror Blades at all? The
the
presence
bodies.
of the fallen.
When we got
When we
to the
got there.
place, there was mirror blade bodies.
Yeah.
Didn't we see a detachment pass us by?
Yeah. We saw some pass us. We didn't want to make trouble with them because they're mirror blades, and
They seem to be heading in a certain direction.
Oh, we ran into that other traveling party, right? The Trova. What's
Oh yeah, the
Trenton.
troll.
We had
The Trovalengatons.
we encountered another adventuring party in that village, the Icespine village,
Frostbrand
where we
Gardens.
saw the ghost girl.
Frostpine Village, and they mentioned that they had seen mirror blades on the road and shining lights. was kind of a deduction. We're
You
not smart.
You see he sort of like flicks his fingers, and you see the Dust Devil in the red mask like writing notes and stuff like that.
We just threw them under the wagon there.
Well, I mean,
You know.
all we said is that they saw Meoblades, like...
What knowledge do you possess relating to a theft at a Radiant Reach facility in the city of Estermel?
What now?
What?
What
Never even
knowledge do you possess relating to the theft at a Radiant Reach facility in the city of Estermel?
None?
None.
None,
I've never
unless...
been to Estermel.
Where is Estermel?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I'm...
Yeah, so Estermel is in the Radiant Reach. So if we move the wagon here a little bit, it should be. I think it's right around this region here. So it's Cat for reference. Solney is like on the coastline, right? It's on this water side that you guys have seen. It's roughly, it's a little bit more north than Solney, but all the way on the other end of Sanctus, on the edge of the Sancturian Barrier Mountains. So it's quite a ways, but it's like northwesternmost of Sanctus on the Radiant Reach side of things.
Gotcha.
He looks at each of you, and you see his scales go the other direction. And it looks like he is going to force. He just like stays silent for a second as he does that. And he looks at each of you.
Is there another way you can describe this event? Maybe we heard about it in a different way.
At this time, you are being asked not to ask questions.
We've seen it on a map.
Alrighty.
I'm seeing it on that.
We're seeing it, yeah.
Tennille, let's see, we got Tennille, we've got Slate. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Please, not me.
Dodge the bullet. Renastus, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Let's. Oh no. Okay. That's a 5.
Okay, so you definitely get the sense of his piercing eyes just like locking into you, and he is delving into your thoughts. You get the sense he's reading your like emotional state, and you get the sense of this individual like totally dispassionately, totally shoving ego and personal implication aside, who is just leafing through the facts of your mind. And is looking, clearly there's like a routine sense to this, and it looks like it's kind of like being under a surgeon's knife, just like being dissected with all these little pieces of information being ferreted out about your emotional state, your knowledge and emotional memory caught up in this. You can actually see a flash of the scene that you looked at over the dead mirror blades and stuff like that very quickly. It's hazy, colored by the fog of your tiredness and the distance in time, but you're getting the sense that he's sort of doing that, and it's not a... You get the sense that he could be more cruel about it, but isn't, and is then withdrawing, and very well. Why did you seek out the Cackling Carnival to aid the Lady Governess Van Hild in the retrieval of her daughter Amelia?
Lady Van Hilt is watching us, I assume.
She's there.
They're all there, although this guy's a lot closer to you than everyone else. Everyone else is about 30 feet away. He's like...
Let's do this quietly.
We were asked
to buy her under the table, so because we were about to be charged potentially with crimes because of what the Cackler may or may not have done in that basement. We really don't know much about that.
We know literally nothing. He just disappeared.
We just
and
know
his
he
body was
disappeared, and then while we were in a different place in the city, there's a big explosion.
Yeah, but they were probably going to bring us under criminal charges regardless, but Lady Van Hild said they'd go away if we went and rescued the victims at the carnival.
He kind of glances back at Lady Van Hild.
We have some experience. We rescued individuals from the Flicker event at Bright Meadow. We have some experience getting people out. So, I mean,
We might as well help. Do what we can.
Very well. Are you willing to maintain a position of strict neutrality between the reaches in this matter in order to see that the issue is fairly resolved?
friend, we have we are neutral. We have no interest in starting any fights.
Very well. The verdict is rendered. Lady Governess Van Hild will further relay the resolution of your involvement in this tangled matter. Thank you for your answers. May your scales return to balance. And with, like, no flair, no acknowledgement, you're just, like, not a non-issue now in his world. He's turned around and he's just walking away. The Duskdveil captain is walking up with Amelia. With Lady Burska. And she says, I will have a private audience with my allies who have just saved this city. And you see, that is most If they planned to kill me in here, they would be moronically stupid with all of you standing right outside. Not only that, but they might find I am less helpless than I appear. I will see my daughter previously and thank her successful rescuers myself in private. I believe you all have her here in this caravan?
Yes, but you might not want to see this, my lady.
I will see her. Go, bring me.
If we can trust anyone's hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like us to bring everybody or just your daughter?
Allow me to join you inside.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
going in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, come on in.
You guys step through and she kind of looks around.
Fancy, ain't it?
Indeed, most wondrous. It is good that such an extensive space is here. It will prove useful in our discussion in private, and I think for other endeavors that you might be asked upon or take on your own. I apologize for the reception outside. As promised, you have returned my daughter to me, and so as promised, I will return the remains of your friend after this conversation is done, despite his record and despite suspected involvement with the fires at this Ram and Shackle. It seems that after analysis, his body was seen without a head. We are not sure where it went, but there was no accident for certain. It was a statement, a warning, and a deliberate murder. By whom, we do not know. Your friend, or associate, perhaps, has quite a record down in this shaded reach. His blue feathers still indicate possible association with either the Prismere's experimental division, but also connections to other groups. It seems he was selling pieces of arcane technology that were being developed and killed a Prismere agent with one of these inventions. He has connections to the Kovski, to which he was known to be selling this technology.
Okay.
As for the matter at hand here, it will be known that you are exonerated and pardoned of any involvement in this unfortunate incident. But that will be only enough to keep you from the headsman or the jailer. The culprit exists for each the border incidents and for the fires, and should be found if you truly wish to make well your reputation. Of course, that is up to you, what you wish to do. Truth, as you may have just discovered, is not quite enough. Skirmish or accident on the border, whatever it may have been, depending on who you ask, with the Mirror Blades has incensed the Duskdveils. They wish someone to hang. It seems that the Radiant Reach has been informed of these events of late and are presenting their own side of the story. Arcana Louvinet has dispatched a diplomat, a direct relative, I believe, to the High Diplomat Trindelin Athamir of the Glimmer Council. This relative will bring a were-guild for the fallen Duskdveils and reaffirmation of the border city peace agreements. A gesture of good faith, I am told, but not one of remitting guilt. The Shining Hand Pulessa Fane has made it clear she wishes your group to escort this individual directly to the Shaded Reach as a neutral third party in this matter who has aided both reaches in recent times. But she also mentions she does not intend to lay blame or implications on the group directly for any crimes. The diplomats shall be arriving 3 turnings from now. I will see to it that you're able to move to and fro unmolested, but I strongly suggest you are here to receive their arrival. You were being used by me, by Fane, and others unseen, I suspect. This is the best I could do.
We appreciate it, and I'm sorry that we were not able to secure your daughter. I do want to warn you that it could. We haven't been able to do much for them since we found them.
Very well. Please, I've had enough of politics and doublespeak. Please just show me your daughter now.
I'll take her over and open the sitting room door and hope they're all still alive.
They are all there, the range of them, and you can see Lady Briska is like clocking all of them as recognition, but she locks in clearly on the state of her daughter. And this is a lady who holds herself with steel in her spine, but she looks like a pressed fruit with all its juices gone when she looks at Amelia. She's very quiet for a time, and she just slumps. My husband killed himself, you know. He traveled east many years ago, went beyond the Shrieking Range to Quaxa and beyond. He was never right after that. Never spoke again. And eventually took his own life. In my grief, I learned to play politics better than he ever did. I maneuvered this city into a better position than it was in before. And I did it to keep us safe, but also to keep me distracted. I wonder what distraction I will find next. I have yet another errand and burden to lay on you and ask of you. Outside the games of the Reaches, if there is any treatment, if there is any sort of relief for my Amelia, I will personally be in your debt. You shall not be punished should you fail. You have already done much and more than I have asked and maneuvered you into doing. But at least I would ask that you use what connections you have in Sony to see if you are able to secure a place for Amelia in the Haladies Asylum. I hear they labor to relieve victims there of the flickers and their ailments. In the meantime, she will maintain in my manor. I have conscripted a local skilled artisan to prepare the upper floors so that she can remain there without incurring too much additional risk to what little remains to my sanity. I thank you for this time. I humbly request that I am given some time to safely take my daughter back to her home. But before I forget, I wish to thank you very much. I also am not usually the player of messenger, but a package arrived addressed to you, and I thought, given our new occupations, that we would deliver it without it being searched, in case there was any further confusion about incrimination. And she hands over what looks like a small, it looks like a very nice mahogany little carved treasure chest. It's got what looks like a gold and black rearing Pegasus and rose insignia on the top. It's a small box, maybe about, less than a foot, maybe 10 inches. And she hands it over. Come, Amelia. And she kind of grabs her and steadies her. Thank you all for bringing my daughter back to me.
I'll bow to her.
And she just makes an exit as dignified as she can. You can see she stumbles a little bit as she steps down the stairs and continues on outward. So she...
I want to go put the box in the bathroom. Shut the door so it's out of sight for the time being.
Yeah.
Okay, are you all exiting again?
I think we need to.
Yeah,
I
we
think
have to.
Surrounded by a whole bunch of
Exit
Duskdveils.
out and kind of look for Captain Edric.
Okay.
Around him and it has
He's there behind you. You see what looks like, immediately when you've got there, it looks like the big array of soldiers parted for Amelia and her daughter, and there's sort of like a you actually see all of the Duskdveils put their hand over their mask, and they all have their shields, and they've all taken a knee. And it looks like they've done like a gesture of respect for Lady Van Hild and her daughter. The captain, once she's left, they all rise in unison, and the captain gives some orders for them to disperse, and it looks like they go to array themselves around the city's walls and stuff like that. The first sergeant, the Duskdveils, and the Motley, including Captain Maligan, are still there behind you with the caravan. And Maligan steps up a little bit. About the best you could have hoped for, to be honest. And the captain says, "Indeed, it seems that there is more veracity that the questioner was able to determine in your claims than we may have first thought, as well as additional players. This Etten and the mixed casualties certainly throw a wrench into these plans that we previously thought. We will see what the will of the Archon is after gaining this new information. It also seems that perhaps we should have a word with these Trovalengatans to get their further account of the travel pattern of the Mirror Blades. But by the name of by the name of the Duskdveils that under my command, I am grateful for your account and grateful for the service that you have rendered the Shaded Reach.
Happy to help. Happy to help. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we take the remaining people that we?
Captain Maligan. Yes, sir. I believe your people can see to the other victims that were rescued. As we ever have, sir. And he sends his people to take the various individuals that you guys also rescued to the space. Yeah?
May we ask where they're being taken?
For the moment, the Pavilion Palace, just like everybody else.
Okay. Just because I was checking for father,
Right.
kids.
So it will be staying in the city for a few more days. Is there a convenient place we can park our caravan and not have it towed away? I'm not sure how this works.
There should be some space. Caravans come and go, particularly along the outer ridges of the northern part of the city. You guys had seen some before that were there. In fact, when you bought your Shaded Reach clothes and stuff, you actually visited a few.
Right.
Not too far from things like Rostaban's Lucent Lodge, not far from Carved Ledgers, not far from the Lorebright Hall, which, by the way, looks a lot more built up than the basic foundations and stuff since the time that you guys had left. So it looks like there's been some construction that's happened there. It looks like it's small and still being expanded upon, but there's at least like a receiving area that it looks totally enclosed and built, and you know there's a building there now. It looks like it's being expanded from.
People entering and leaving, or is it just
Not that you can tell from
under
here, but it's hard to
construction?
tell because there's a bunch of people milling about. You'd have to go check personally a little closer.
Okay.
So, but with that, the Duskdveils disperse. The captain gives you guys all like a curt nod, and he says, "Tulskar, keep your arm strength." He kind of gives you a bit. Tulskar is the known as the wrestler and the god of physical might. He's one of the 13, and is one of the patrons that the Duskdveils pay more attention to. So yeah, they all disperse, leaving you guys a little bit there, and alone there at the gates, which close behind you. So what's everyone doing?
Neil does that like hyperventilate and like bends over, leaning on his knees, like, oh,
Analysis will immediately get the tea kettle out.
just like
Shit
middle of
for
the street,
everybody.
yeah, middle of the street tea.
Celebratory middle of the street tea.
Grandpa?
I don't don't see why he had to go through the song and dance of asking us questions when he could just probe our minds like that.
Oh, it's all about presentation, Grandpa. Grandpa, it's all about presentation. Oh boy.
Yeah, maybe it's Grandpa. Do you have something stronger to spike Tennille's tea with? I think he needs it.
Oh, I think this might do better. And from his pocket, he'll pull out like a little, small, golden, round, maybe an oval candy.
Is it a hard candy?
Is it a Werther's?
That's what
Love it.
Thanks. Thanks, Grandpa.
no problem.
Yeah, we...
Oh, Bonnie James is still standing here.
Oh,
James.
hi!
You all get into so much fucking trouble.
Like you would
And
not
then you
believe.
somehow just stumble, not even talk, just stumble your way out of it.
We have...
All of you are just so insane.
Yeah, I think we've gone with total honesty as a party, and it's weirdly worked.
That never works for me, but whatever.
Okay,
Can I mean, I feel like I at least didn't hurt the cause, so...
where are you staying at now, Bonnie James?
I'm sorry?
Where are you living?
Well, I would be returning to what's left of the Round and Shackle and trying to help my father repair, collect insurance, all that sort of thing.
Well, how about, I don't want you walking through the city with anything of value on you.
Oh, I can conceal it as long as it's small. Or, foldable or storable. I got a backpack here, you know?
Alright, guys, what do you think? What should we give her? Let's take this inside.
Yes, I'd love to see the upstairs, in fact.
Nope. No, Bonnie James. None of
No,
that.
you can stay out here with me.
It was worth a try.
Basically, Tennille was going to suggest giving her one of the engulfin skins. Because we have so much more stuff to sell.
We're gonna need every gold piece, by the way.
We are, but
I could give her 10 fake gold pieces.
No. Give her the
Oh my
mimics.
God. The mimic gold?
Yeah.
No.
I think.
So,
I mean, what do we have in our list of
no,
stuff?
I like the Engulfin skin, and
Like,
it's
it's-
weird.
It's something she could conceivably have gotten, like,
Out shopping?
like we're not going to give her one of these paintings.
Mm-mm.
Like, it's something that she could have, like, traded for or come across or lifted off the back of a wagon. I don't know.
Can she even carry the darn thing? Isn't it rather large?
It is large, for sure, but it can be rolled up. Think like a lug, it's like an area rug, but with less form to it, so you can fold it up.
Also, it's really fucking weird, and I like that. I like that for her.
What do you say, Renastus?
I was on the note of really fucking weird. This giant stuffed mimic is very odd.
Oh, both of them. We're going to give her both of them, yeah.
Well, isn't the giant stuffed mimic no, that one's not. It's not like a backpack.
It should be.
Yeah, I think like you can wear it, but it's not.
Yeah, it's like a backpack. That one actually is a backpack.
Give her the skin inside the backpack for her to wear.
Alright, let's do it.
So you're giving an engulfin skin inside the mimic stuffed mimic backpack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and then-
changed my mind. I did not realize it was a backpack.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The
Well,
Engulfin
she
skin.
could have it. She could have it.
I mean, we gave her,
Did
Yeah.
we actually search the backpack? Was anything in it?
There was nothing in it. It's just a...
Okay.
are we all okay with giving her a single engulfin skin?
Yeah.
I know it's worth a lot, but
And we
What
have.
did we ballpark it at? We did at some point.
You guys ready now?
let me see
No, I
what's
got
in
it.
my notes.
We could give her the mean mimic teacup.
The furs are each worth 75 gold.
Renasus will put a hand over his chest in the pocket where the teacups are. Absolutely not. I'm fond of the mean one especially.
No one's asking you to give up your...
Two little tongues just like slurp out of the pocket.
Do we know what mimics see each other than people? Did we find that out?
We have a book on
We have a
mimics.
book. I mean, okay. Let's take care of Bonnie James. Go park the wagon.
I'm assuming you guys are moving the wagon into position up along the other like stalls and stuff, from centaur hitch caravans to little like sleds that are sales carts, or to full on like sales wagons that are opened up.
Is there some sort of lesser magic item we can give that?
Like maybe one of the dust? Or no, those are no lesser.
Ooh, a creepy doll.
This is supposed to be a gift, not a threat.
We could try giving her one of the clockwork toys upstairs.
I like my toys there.
Okay.
Slate likes his toys, guys. Okay.
Oh, so you
Nothing's-
that's
nothing's
your
neat.
room.
It's the stuff.
That's your room then.
I was thinking the clock one, but maybe.
Oh, I mean, whatever you want.
Okay, so I hear engulfing skin. Are we upping that with additional things?
I feel like this is about a 100
That's-
gold gift.
that's
I'm
a-
thinking. So a little
I mean,
bit
she
more.
really.
A little bit
I mean,
more.
she gave us the map, but she didn't really actually do
She
anything.
didn't do anything.
I mean,
This
the
is-
village
this
was
is
75
goodwill,
gold.
'cause we're gonna be
75
here for-
gold is a lot.
Is it
Not when your father's an idiot who's in debt to the Scovens.
Yeah.
I could give her a pair of mastiffs.
Yes.
Does she need a horse?
Actually, we could give her like a riding horse, because like we have.
Oh, I'm gonna open the go downstairs. Do you need a horse?
I mean, I could use one, yeah.
Okay, good to know, good to know.
I like it. Okay.
And-
A little bit of value, a little bit of convenience.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
give her the engulfing skin, and then I pull the patch off the robe off in front of her just to freak her out.
Outside of the wagon.
Outside
of the wagon. Maybe not in full view of guards.
Yeah, outside
Yeah.
the wagon, but behind it. Yes.
Okay.
Suddenly a horse.
Suddenly, you tear off a horse just like appears out of the patch, and Bunny James is like, "What the? You could just do that the whole? What the? Why was I? What the heck were you had me walking for? You sit just."
You never know when you might need a patch horse.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh, also, we got you a skin of.
And we can put it right on the back of the horse.
Yeah, this was worth. This was one of the things we did find this in the maze. So you can have this one.
It's worth a pretty penny.
Mm-hmm.
A pretty copper, rather. What's a penny?
Well, you know what? It's been nice knowing you. Take care. And she just like,
Do you want any dogs?
We'll be like, stab you next time.
What are you in her?
Oh, Vanessa's will hand over the backpack.
The mimic back?
Do we have any of those rubber swords? It's like she went to the guard.
I'm leaving you all. Forget it. It wasn't nice knowing you, but good luck. Thank you. Goodbye.
Same to you.
And she just trails off.
That's a lot of food, you know, if you saw the thing. No, not the horse, not the horse.
Who doesn't love patch horse meat?
It's,
When you're in a stitch.
Does it taste a little like sheepy because it's made of wool or something?
It's got like an ink taste to it.
yeah, it gets cut,
From the
turns
dye.
out it's
Like
just
a little metallic taste from the like iron gall dye.
yeah, just like a poof of paper comes out when you cut it.
Yeah. Well, she exits the scene,
Leading a horse.
leading a horse away. She draws a couple looks, you know, as she's got like a surprise horse with a huge mega badger fur draped over the back of it. But she heads across town, going the long way, sort of maybe out of habit, avoiding the sort of more quiet and respectful area of the Valley of the Shrines, and just doesn't look back, just kind of beelines away from this weirdness. But she did come away 150-ish gold richer, so in resources of varying kinds. So hopefully she's able to put that to use. We'll see what she ends up doing.
The horse
I'm just gonna
has
ride
saddlebags.
riding horse
With saddlebags.
and engulfin
And a mimic backpack.
and mimic
And the backpack.
And the backpack.
backpack.
Kept that.
Yeah.
Bonnie
Something
James.
for her to remember us by.
I don't think she wants to remember us.
She's never
Yeah,
done
that's
I don't
why
think
we
she has
gave
a
it to
choice
her.
at this
You know,
stage.
at this point,
So.
We've imprinted ourselves.
like every 7 turnings, Sunil is just gonna send her a message.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Again,
Oh my God.
BBEG. Bonnie James is just sick of our shit.
Weirdo that texts you in the middle.
so
Just wake her up.
With-
randomly.
with this, the
Hey.
team obviously has some things, some new developments have befallen the Bewildered. You guys, as Lady Van Hild indicated, you guys have 3 turnings until the arrival of this diplomat that is being sent by the Glimmer Council to offer this Were-Guild / reaffirmation of peace terms. So we got 3 days, 3 turnings to spend, and as Lady Van Hild also said, you know, she was going to make sure that you guys can come and go at your will. So we've got plenty of stuff to discover in the wagon, including the thing you were just handed. And other stuff that you might be interested in doing, shops you might be interested in visiting. We've still got a little bit of playtime here, so if you want, we can at least start maybe checking out the wagon and stuff. That might be the easiest place to spend that last bit of time, unless you guys want something else in particular that you'd like to do.
I just want to tell the
It's pretty,
brother and sister that their father's back.
it's pretty late in the show.
Oh, you sent a message.
I sent them a
suppose.
message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could.
Oh,
First thing in the morning. What's in that
box!
Box,
Like,
box,
like
box.
sitting across the floor to get
Yeah.
to that box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
We'll pull the box out.
Okay.
Like, let's
I'll-
we have a sitting room.
We have a sitting room. I'll check it for traps.
You checking the box for traps.
Yeah.
Okay, make a investigation check.
But you should also check the sitting room for traps.
You guys did and found
did.
thoroughly. There's a bunch of traps in it, but you
And
have
disarmed them.
disarmed them. So
18 investigation.
pretty sure this isn't trapped. It also looks like it doesn't have any kind of locking mechanism that you can see.
Okay, let's look around the sitting room.
You notice, though, I would say this is valuable. Like the box itself, it's real gold that's set into the top of it in the design, along with what looks like onyx or ebony to make the black and gold design of the rearing Pegasus and the rose. And then the wood itself is a kind of really well polished and worked, and like with scroll worked into it, mahogany. So worth some money.
Would Slit recognize the heraldry?
Make a history check.
So would Neil if it was Solian?
Make a history check.
Why? Why? I 7. I don't remember shit.
Slate.
I'm expertise now. It's +9. That's 17.
You don't recognize it.
Does it look like the puzzle boxes that?
It does not.
Okay.
Just very distinct difference. Those were cubes, just like almost like a Rubik's cube of wood. This is a mini treasure chest.
Was it addressed to all of us, specifically to
She
Neil?
just handed it over to
Of all
the first. She just handed it out, and Neil grabbed it.
There's nothing from all the loot I've seen that triggers my sense.
None of you have recognized this.
Yeah.
Sit it down, back away, and open it with Mage Hand.
Okay. The first thing you see is what looks like a emerald-colored scroll or letter. It looks like it's on top of some other stuff inside.
I'll use my Mage Hand and pick that up. Bring it over to myself.
Okay. It is an very rich emerald-colored vellum with gold ink on it. It reads, "Dear Bewildered, you are formally invited as one of the participating and notably skilled Lorebright groups to register and engage in the coming pioneer event of the Lorebright League. What is the League, you may ask? It is a thrilling competition filled with a multitude of challenges across numerous invited Lorebright registered groups, such as yourselves, to contend with for relics, riches, and renown. I have partnered with the Prismere, but this extravaganza will be far beyond their stuffy exploits. I shan't spoil any surprise but for this first event, except for 2 facts. Each event shall rival the grandiosity of the Tolskari Games, without having to wait till the end of the year, and shall take place beginning in Lunavir on the 30th turning of this 3rd shard. If you wish to enroll and participate in this first event, I expect a response with your party's roster and official competing name by the 20th. Competing parties are limited to 7 members, but rest assured that the smaller groups will be given a fighting chance. There will be more events that I would simply adore your participation in, even if you pass on this first. But I would be overjoyed if I could turn your fancy to this kickoff event. Your reputation's caught quite a few certain attentions, and it would tickle me to no end to have you join others who have already registered and agreed to attend. I believe the Trovalangatans, with whom you are acquainted, are one such group. I humbly and excitedly await your green response. Please send it to my correspondence office at the Prismere's Lorbright Division in Lunavere. Signed, the League Master.
I read this out loud to the whole group.
P.S. Please accept this small welcome packet as a token of my esteem. I bequeath it freely without obligation, let or lien.
I walk over to the box. I imagine we're all like standing around it now.
Yep. The first thing you notice is what looks like what looks like an old-fashioned fountain pen, but its nib is made of solid emerald with gold inscription on it. You also notice what looks like 2 bottles. One a rather large bottle of a red liquid, and one is a sort of cloudy green that has sort of like a jellyfish-esque bubble in it, just boom, boom, boom. The last thing you see is a rather large diamond.
Straight up.
Oh my.
We were to appraise this diamond.
Go ahead and make a wisdom or intelligence check.
Int.
Surprise.
Surprise, 23.
North of 400. Probably in the range of 400 to 500.
Janelle, weren't you blabbering on about at one point wanting diamonds?
Yeah, no,
It's
no.
like
oh,
worth
no.
at least 400 gold.
Oh, this is good. This is real good. This is good. This I
Flo's
think.
just like staring.
No. This is if one of you doesn't wake up, I can use this and some magic to bring you back.
Like,
Meaning if one of us dies.
If one of you dies,
Thank you.
if I die, I'm screwed. But if one of you dies,
As long as we're clear.
if one of you dies, I think it's been a weird dream. You know, like one of those weird fever dreams you have, like right before you wake up. It's very. He's talking very fast. He's like very kind of like frantic right now. Like I think this is what it's. I think I can use this.
It's like a
More
talking to dead
morbid.
people thing, or
Kind of, but I don't want to test this. I don't want to have to test this.
you can, again, more morbid.
You definitely, depending on who you sell it to, you might be able to get it for more, but you definitely know it's at least worth, you'd be like shooting yourself in the foot to not get 400 gold minimum.
Let's just hold on to it, and like if I find one that's a little bit smaller that could suit my purposes, totally sell it. But like for now, can
I want to see your magic atomize that thing.
I hope I don't have to.
I hope it's not only.
Flo's
Okay.
like still staring at the diamond and like watching everywhere like you.
I know you want it blue. I know you
It's
want
not big enough that you need 2 hands to
No,
hold
I
it.
know, I
A
know.
500 gold diamond can still be small.
I know.
Like imagine a nice engagement ring diamond. It's like
Yeah.
that.
But
like-
she's just like,
It's not like the size of a fist, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be in the thousands.
I promise we find another pretty shiny. We can sell it or do something, but this is really important. This is really important, blue.
you can tell that she's just like riveted, and then all of a sudden like it comes off, and she's like, "What?"
Flo, do we need to have a talk about property?
She got shiny lust.
Yeah,
Pirates, am I right?
Annette would like to ritually cast Detect Magic, kind of focusing in on the other stuff in the box.
All the other stuff is magical. The box isn't magical, but the pen and the 2 potions are magical.
Anyone want to help me identify these so it doesn't take all day?
I don't mind.
Yeah, I'll take the pen.
Okay.
We haven't rested, so I can't identify.
For the sake of brevity, I'll just go over them. This is an emerald pen. No ink required, self-inking, and allows you to cast the illusory script spell at will.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's like the innkeeper guy had.
Not dissimilar, although this isn't a self-inking disguise quill, which was what he had. His was very flamboyant peacock feather type quill. This is a
Much like
pen. But yeah, this is a self-inking and illusory scripting pen. The potions are a potion of water breathing, which is that's green one with the jellyfish-esque bubble in it. So it does kind of what it says on the tin there. Gives you the ability to breathe underwater. I'd have to look up for the duration.
I mean, water breathing, the spell is like 24 hours, but...
It's a full day, that's not bad.
Yeah. You could ritually cast it, so you could get... That's nice. That's nice being a druid.
1 hour of water breathing after drinking the potion.
What's the whole slot of that?
It's a potion of water breathing.
The water breathing the spell is third level.
Oh, I actually don't think clerics get that.
I don't... Yeah, that's a druid thing.
So, I think some wizards get it, too.
Wizards can get it, it's just so situational. I'm like, we're
Sure.
not going to the ocean anytime.
And the potion that is the red liquid is a potion of supreme healing. So this is, so just so you know, just a house rule in general, and this is going to apply to Renostis' potions as well. All potions, I'm just going to make a standard, all potions are a bonus action to drink yourself, an action to give it to anyone else, just for clarification. Because I think we ran into that with like, was it or was it not with Renostis'? It's a bonus action for yourself, action for everyone else. Potion of Supreme Healing is 10d4 plus 20 in healing. You also, at least in terms of like monetary value, you know this is worth at least like 1,000 gold.
Okay, we could heal ourselves.
Close
Nice.
death
Nice.
to the world.
We could sell it.
Flow.
We could get so many spell books
Is
and
this,
die.
Is this sending us out as
Flo's
a
gonna
welcoming
run
gift?
to
As a
the
welcoming gift?
to the box.
Think how much they're gonna give us if we win the competition.
Okay. Let's, how about we sleep on that?
We're going, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, well, how about we talk about in the morning?
The lust. The loot lust.
Immediate. Absolute.
Anatka's just dreaming of spell books and die, but it would be cool. There are riches and relics. I really like both.
Oh, okay, well, how about,
How about
tonight?
we just go there and steal it all?
If we lose.
No,
Yeah,
not even
going
compete,
up
just find their spot and just leave.
Hey
It's
Flo,
like
how
Nate's
much?
here.
This is being run partially by the Prismere. How much magic do you think they have?
I don't know. I'm not a magic person.
A lot. They have a lot. More than I do.
As the letter implies, you guys have until the 20th, so 7 turnings from your current position to reply with your roster and all that. So 7 in-game days to reply to your roster as far as the party and the official competing name of the party. So obviously you don't have to decide right this second.
Another thing. Probably not what's happening, but this should maybe verify this with someone that it's an actual event, because this would be a great way to lure a lot of annoying magic people that you don't like somewhere. And so, I mean, we have the Lord Right office in town.
Yeah, we should go talk to them tomorrow.
Okay? So you want to spend the last little bit of the session checking out some stuff in the wagon?
Yes.
Yes.
Angel! I want to look at the angel!
Okay?
I want to check out the frickin' clown room.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's look at those
Yeah.
shelves.
Yeah, so the angel, while you've got Detect Magic up, you can run upstairs and quickly see. It clearly has some latent magic in it, but it seems like there is some transmutation magic going on here. As well as enchantment, obviously. And the little plaque, is uncertain to you in some ways because, it says taken, taken, what is it? What did I say? Something off of, let me find the right wording. Oh, this is the whole carnival. Get out of here, I need the wagon. Yeah, this reads as, purchased off a Red Saber pirate vessel in B1.
Do I see this?
I would
If you're
I would, seeing pirate vessel, hey Flo, what's a Red Saber pirate vessel?
And I'll be like, what the? And just like run over quickly.
This little...
It's not moving now. It looks like it moves when you look away.
Sorry.
It moves when you look away.
That's great. Cute.
So it looks like a tiny angel.
Why is such
Would
a
I know anything about like
taxidermy room?
B1 or?
Make a either wisdom or intelligence check.
Be wise, be
Wisdom.
inty.
This is like a worldly wisdom situation.
No.
What'd you get? Now one.
One above that.
2.
It's for 4.
You've heard the term somewhere. You do have a map.
Can I look away?
Look
Angel-
again.
Look back at it.
It moves.
Okay.
Even in your hand, you can feel it like flutter away.
I'm trying to look at it. Again.
Sure.
Thank you.
Go ahead and make a wisdom.
Oh, it's a nat 1.
Okay, well, at
This
least
is
we're getting
not
them out
meant to
here.
be.
But you guys do have a map, so you can look up B1 somewhere on there if you want to
Okay.
with time.
Okay. So what's a red saber pirate?
Not a good one.
As opposed to good.
Is it?
Is it like quality is good or like?
I'd be scared to see this one.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay. Good to
that's
know.
a.
And I don't get scared.
Eh.
Is
Unless it's little
Renostus
dead kids, then that's my limit.
is Renostus going into the clown's room as well, or are you going somewhere else to check out other stuff?
Go in the clown's room.
Okay, so you guys are all going there? Okay. So, like I said before, this has sort of the wide room, stage on the far end. Looks like little constructed bleachers still on either side. And then the interior walls beside the doors and behind the bleachers are glass cabinets filled with strange, unique items, often with little gold plaques that proclaim what they are. One of the first things you see, and I'll just go down the list now as you guys are walking through them. So you see a framed and broken mask of the smiling gentleman with a spiral-shaped purple crack in it, in its gilded black glass box, and it's labeled "My Old Face." There is a whistle that looks like it's made of congealed lightning and ice frozen together. Its label says "Whistle of the Stormhound Hunt." There is a frozen comb with ghostly hair on it, like ghostly wisps of hair that seem to like almost like they're suspended in water, kind of like wafting around. This says Granny Calliope's comb from the Frostspine Garden. You see what you saw before, a high-heeled iron shoe. Look like it's sized for someone very large, like the shoe is multiple feet across. And it says, Shoe of the Cloud Giant Maiden Odmira.
How do you spell that?
Odmira. Next is what looks like a candle made of white stone with red glyphs inlaid into it. And it is labeled as a Giandria Dream Candle. Next is a rather large, like 3-foot tall stone statue of a dog, sort of done in that same kind of style of like more Asian dog statues, like on outside of a temple or something. But it's very different than that because it has 11 glowing yellow eyes along its forehead. And its plaque says "Statue of a Niteran Tindrolo Hound." Next, you see a cracked and silvery split stone set upon a deep navy blue black cushion, and it just labels its label says "Our Lost Lady." Next is an urn with, according to the label, the ashes of Eosa Azali, the hero who defeated the Sunscale Shard in 91 BC. So before Chronosa, 91 years. So this is over 500 years ago.
What was the name?
Eosa Azhalai. So Iosa is the first name, and the last name is Azhalai. Azhalai. Next is a metallic series of gold inlaid metal rings that move on their own elliptically around a floating gray stone. And it says, a replica of a ship of the East from Evermont.
Ship.
That's what it says.
Sarah.
It doesn't look like a boat of any kind. It looks like I described, a single stone in the center and rotating gold elliptical rings around it. Next is a ticket stub. Or invitation to something called the Grand Theater, which states it's happening at the time right now and location everywhere. Next is a key in the shape of a colorful orange fish and is labeled First Home.
what was the previous one that you said?
Running out of space.
The ticket to the Grand Theater,
Ticket to the Grand Theater.
which is happening right now everywhere.
Okay.
I mean, life
I know.
is happening all the
Yeah.
time, everywhere.
Annetko ritually cast Detect Magic in this room. Just to try to get the flavors.
Yep, there's a lot of magic.
Flavor.
Next is a spiral-designed locket, open, with a faceless portrait of a woman's profile done in silver inside. There's no plaque labeling this one. Next looks like a shawl made of woven sea foam with tiny conch shells in adornment. And it is labeled as the shawl of Surf Queen Irisia of the Coral Palace.
Fighting over that one.
Good old surf queen.
What's the name?
Irisia, like the flower, Irisia, of the Coral Palace. Next is the stone statue of a woman in strange robes with look like almost glowing glyph-like tattoos, not totally dissimilar to what you've seen Slate in battle. And it just says recovered from the ruins of Iossa, which is spelled Yossa. Of Iossa, Yossa. All right, next is the painting of the Smiling Gentleman going up against Coralax the Dragon. This just says the original and best. And you get the sense that, looking at it, this would be worth quite a bit of money. Last but not least, a sealed blood-red colored leather envelope with a gray seal of fangs over a pair of crossed swords. The label says, a letter from the Red Saber, captain of the Crimson Sail and fleet master of Redcoin.
Flo's gonna snatch that.
Okay?
And open it.
Okay? It's like the green paper of the invitation you guys got. This is all done in red. It reads, your time is fading, old man. Sorry, it's addressed to the Smiling Gentleman. Your time is fading, old man. With each passing year, our kind and our numbers grow stronger while you and your paltry gang grow thin and foolish. It truly boggles the mind why you resist me. We are the next stage of humanoid kind. Imagine what we could have done together if you had not betrayed me. I enjoyed your last run-in with our dearest furry fellow. His dealings were soured and his anger was something to behold. But he is ever resourceful, if nothing else, and has a new trade with some of the Golotho and their delicious substance as a result. It seems his rage has finally turned to cunning at last. He has them, you know. All but one of them escaped him. You never thought any of us that you had wronged would come for your family? Tut tut, my dear fellow. You've lost your touch in your later years. Bloody regards, BZ.
He's a vamper.
There's a lot of Smiling Gentleman memorabilia in this wagon. Has anyone else noticed that?
You, Quintus, have been the Smiling Gentleman?
We could ask our Canifer friend.
I mean, think of what the Smiling Gentleman likes to do. I mean, he's all, sneaky, laughy guy.
I thought we met the Smiling Gentleman.
You didn't, but the rest of us.
Yeah. He came to.
We
But
did.
that would have been before the carnival got flickered.
I mean, I read about him in this book.
I'm gonna cast Sending
Okay?
to the individual who presented himself to us as the Smiling Gentleman.
Oh boy.
Okay. Do you need to know their name?
That's a very good question. I don't
Oh.
know if I need to. I might actually.
I think that's the one thing you do need to know.
Well, then I can't.
But go ahead and look it up. I don't know that off the top of my head. Although I'm going to have to up my sending game response
Sorry.
readiness.
Oh, boy.
'Cause boy, is Tennille going to use that one.
I could not. I was like, I'm
You-
so excited for the spell.
Asho's Fireball?
To a creature with which you are familiar.
Okay.
I am, and I specifically am thinking of the individual that we met that
Yeah.
claimed to be the Smiling Gentleman. Alright, he's going to assume his hands on his stance again.
Apparently that's the somatic component for standing.
Yes. And he's kind of like staring at the ceiling. Tennille here. Did you ever travel with a Vianthan caravan run by a fellow named Quintius? Quintius?
Quintisius.
Quintisius. Because this guy was a huge fan.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Tennille's abusing his power to...
For a while, it feels like you're not sure if you're going to get a response. But then you do hear a responding voice. Well, this is unexpected. Quintisius and I are, or were, acquainted at a time. And I have a lot of respect for the Vianthans. He doesn't say anything further.
Oh. Well, Quintisius wasn't the Smiling Gentleman. He's whoever that fellow was. He's still alive.
Or he's not the original Smiling Gentleman, or it's a title that gets passed down. You know,
Dread pirates and all that.
Dread pirates and all that.
Anyway, we answered that question.
Yeah, I mean, because we don't know anything about him. It could be multiple people.
Okay, so detect magic's up. A lot of this is magical,
Yeah.
as you might expect.
Nice.
The mask of the Smiling Gentleman has enchantment and transmutation, as well as a lingering coldness that the spiral shape seems to have embedded and infected into it. The whistle has an element of conjuration magic to it, but seems dormant somehow, or the magic is like part of its creation. That's what I would say. The ghostly comb and frozen ice, the ice comb with the ghostly hair, has some necromantic magic to it, for sure. The high-heeled shoe is not magical. The candle is magical. It has divination magic to it. The stone dog statue has some kind of cold, piercing presence and nauseating energy to it, but does not fit neatly into a school. Looking at the silvery split and cracked stone on the cushion, and you looking at that, you definitely notice it is strongly magical and painful to look upon. It causes a sort of wave of inevitable hopelessness to strike at you, and you tear your sort of third sight away from it. The urn with the ashes in it does not appear to be magical. The little elliptical replica ship from the east is magical, but again does not quite fit into a nice, neat school of magic aside from enchantment. The invitation to the Grand Theater is magical, but again does not fit into a nice school. The key is magical and fits into a more abjuration style magic, which includes like defensive things, stuff like knock, alarm, that kind of stuff also fits into that category. The spiral design locket with the faceless portrait has a very similar flavor to the orb, cracked and sitting on the deep navy cushion. The shawl appears to be non-magical, aside from its creation, which seems to have been made by sort of a conjuration enchantment mixture, as it looks like it really is woven together of actual sea foam, somehow turned into thread. The statue of the stone woman with the glowing tattoos appears to have some transmutation and enchantment magic in it. The painting is not magical, and the letter is also not magical.
Go looks at the statue, looks at Slate, looks back at the statue. You ever face some, some sort of conjuration magic, stuff that makes stuff appear, or transmutations, like mostly what I do, transform one thing into another. Ever any of that? Pinging anything? Pinging your mind friend?
You hear, looks good right where it is.
That's a nice spot for it. Just right there.
I make a messages for later we move it.
It's like,
Oh my gosh.
What?
We're setting up so much troll opportunity here with just like all these things.
Can people identify these? Because I can't, but I want to know.
Yeah.
And we're gonna rest anyway.
Yeah.
While magic types are doing things, Sneal's gonna go clean the map room. It's his room now.
Okay.
He drops his bag down and starts going. He goes to the Nashry room and grabs that lantern and brings it over and puts it down, and then kind of like looks at the spirit totem and like just starts like pushing it across the hall.
Okay, so when you touch the lantern,
Oh no! Oh
there's a cracked iron and strange glass lantern. You just hear, "Oh, I'd forgotten that one. Be a dear and bring it to me."
no! Is it the same old crone voice that I've heard before?
It is.
Okay.
You definitely, when you're moving around the totem nexus, by the way, you're definitely feeling like there's an ambient resonance or beacon nature to this that's in the same wavelength of what you do.
Okay.
You're not sure what that means yet, but that is definitely something that is sending your Alusha senses tingling.
I tell no one of this. I'm gonna just take my stuff to my room.
Okay.
So, identify magic types?
Yeah.
Does that happen?
Yeah.
Okay. The mask no longer has any significant magical properties. Whoever's identifying it, go ahead and make an ability check or an arcana check. We'll just say an arcana check.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a nat 1.
Well,
As far as you know, no longer magical or ruined in such a way that has destroyed its magical properties.
Magic.
What are we identifying next?
You want to do the statue? So I can touch it when I shouldn't?
Yeah, let's run, I should probably be most curious about both the woman statue and the dog statue, so she'll start with the tattooed woman statue.
Okay. Identify spell mostly relates to magic items, which this is not.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And I can just tell you the dog statue, same deal, not a magic item.
does it look like anything like Carney the King?
The dog?
Cantifer? When he was in dog
No.
form?
The dog looked like a dog it looked like a labradoodle when it was in dog form. This is an 11-eyed, glowing,
Oh, that's right. It has
strange
11
hound.
yellow eyes. Okay.
Yeah. It also has
Okay,
like a
sorry.
human-looking snarl to its mouth.
I don't
Oh.
like that.
I'll identify the ticket.
The ticket. This seems to be, again, not a full magic item, but it seems to be part of something innately and immensely powerful. You're not sure how it feels incomplete, is what I would say. Like it's a ticket stub, right? And so if you're able to find some kind of attachment situation here, that might be something to that.
Gotcha.
So you feel like you're missing a piece of the puzzle, so to speak, for that to have a full resonance. Yeah. Anyone else? Any others we want to do for now? We can always come back.
Yeah, I think. So there's like this orb, but it's like giving me weird feelings, like a feeling of just hopeless despair. Should I try to identify it?
That's normal teenage angst, and it's fine. You just hear from the other room.
Would you feel more comfortable if I looked at it?
I just don't want you to like get hurt or anything.
I'm just gonna
Just palm it. Do it. Also,
And
don't do it. Don't do it.
That kind of...
I'm gonna. I think I still have. Let me double check and make sure that I didn't. I have Fearbolt Detect Magic. I'm gonna go ahead and cast that and see what vibe I get from that object.
Okay, I mean, from a Fearbolg's perspective, this detect magic is more on a nature-related wavelength. So you're getting the sense of the inevitable decay of all living things, the inevitable end of hope and surrendering to one's base nature. That's the sense that you're getting from that. It is nauseating and sickening, and definitely a deterrent.
I don't think we should touch it. But I kind of want to touch it. Do you see my problem here?
On a spiritual level, yeah.
And this also, that's the one that was labeled like Our Lady.
Yeah, the cracked orb is labeled Our Lost Lady.
Our Lost Lady.
And the locket, which shows a faceless portrait of a woman's face in profile, does not have a plaque or label of any kind, but did trigger a similar-esque response.
Are the two items near each other, or are they?
No, they're in different cabinets.
I wonder what's happened to the lady.
I say we get maybe a professional to look at these.
I mean, I'm a professional, but yes, a more professional.
Nicholas, if someone's looking at that statue,
Which one?
the one with similar tattoos, or glowing tattoos, I should say.
Yeah.
Do they look? Well, I guess he can't see his own. Do they feel familiar?
Make a Arcana check. You want to do something, Flo?
Can I sit in the big iron shoe?
You can sit in the shoe, yes.
You can also shit in the shoe.
You sit in the big iron shoe.
I just don't want to be like lounging. Like,
I mean, it's iron, so it's not the most comfortable, but you also feel the arms on your hairs. The arms on your hairs.
Wow.
The hairs on your arms. The hairs on your arms begin to like rise, like there's like a static electricity sense to them
in the shoes.
while you're in the shoe.
Can I like touch my hands?
Yeah,
Grab
you
a couple
can.
socks.
Yeah, is there like little like static?
Not quite.
Okay.
It actually looks more like they're just being like brushed by like a breeze.
Oh. Sleep, come here.
Slade is busy with it.
What'd you get?
Statue.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Expertise is nice.
That is nice.
27.
27. Definitely a consistent but different design to your own tattoos. You get a further attention, a sort of smugness looking at this, like satisfaction. But
from Brain Friend.
that's kind of what you're getting. But you definitely see that this is consistent with your own tattoo design, and you've seen the designs in your dreams and stuff. You know what they look like.
Okay, good.
That's cool.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you touch it.
Nothing.
Nothing particular. Although when you get close to the tattoos, the light gets a little harsher, a little brighter, and they glow like ambiently white.
It's a neat statue.
Yeah.
So.
Looks kind of like you, Slate.
Yeah, I think we can figure out who made this or where it's from, or if anyone recognizes it. I might be able to learn something.
All right. Any other identifications that we're doing in the moment?
Yeah, we could do the comb.
The comb, yeah.
Yeah.
The comb, again, isn't, like, a lot of these aren't necessarily magic items, but they are magically imprinted, interesting things to show off, or to put on display. So that's kind of the sense you're getting here. This seems to be, although, like there is a distinct memory tied up in the hair.
Okay.
Like a memory impression lasting from this individual, this Granny Calliope. And the magic of the frozen comb seems to be consistent with what you guys analyzed at the Frostspine Garden, that sort of darkness and not just evocation magic, but sort of a darker tinge to it. Something harsher and meaner than merely violent magic. Yes. Go.
Slate, can you help me out of this shoe?
You hear
like
from
Grace
like with
Barr.
an echo.
You holler to her feet. She feels remarkably lighter.
Check this out.
And you're just like, whoa! And then you come back down and you feel normal. Like, and she feels normal.
Huh.
Wait, do it again. And I'm gonna like have him try it again.
You
Now you feel normal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not like you're weightless forever. It just felt like you were lighter after being in the
how'd you
shoe.
do
Try
that?
it again.
You
I'm gonna
weighed
hop
like
in the...
nothing.
Wait. You hop in the shoe.
Can I help with that? I mean, I'm 8 feet tall and built like a brick house.
Yeah, this is a little bit more like an adult sitting at like a plastic red kitty chair, like a play place or something like that. And you've got like your legs squeezing out and stuff like that. It's mostly your bum that's in the heel.
So I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
stuck in it.
Can I try to lift Slate out of the shoe?
He's still heavier, but you do notice that it feels easier to pull him to his feet. You don't like fling him in the air, but you do like pull him to. You feel like, wait, have I been working out? Like,
Yeah.
so.
Huh. This is a funky shoe.
Yeah. That's cool. Did it make your hair stand up too?
It seemingly did. Yeah. It didn't. It made them like breezed.
So what if we... If we put someone in this, how far do you think I could throw them? Like we dunk them in.
I mean, you were able to lift me up pretty good.
Like if we tell Tennille there's
Well,
like...
they're plotting Kenku Arrow V2. What is everyone else? What is everyone else doing?
If I hear this conversation, we could enlarge you first, reduce someone's size.
And reduce their weight with this stupid boot.
Drink Grandpa's flying potion.
You're
And
gonna
get a
throw them
lift
from
off.
the
Oh
air?
my gosh, this is the trollsiest.
Okay. I'm gonna drink this.
Just buy a catapult, jeez.
We have that potion of giant strength too. I'll drink that.
Yes.
All right. Well,
So long.
You're a horse in a badger skin.
this is gonna be how you guys like siege a castle or something.
Just throw me up
Just
there.
get in the shoe. No time for questions.
All right. Moving on for now. What is everyone else? Anyone else want to do anything else before we call it a night here? In terms of other rooms, this room, identifying anything in particular, just as a last like note to end on here, we'll wind down with a rest here because presumably the turning is coming to a close, and you guys have spent a while in here identifying all the stuff. But is there anything in particular else that you guys want to check out? Or
Like,
really
I was
know
just, like,
about?
pushing stuff into the map room, so you'll stop. Did anyone else want this room first? Should we like figure this out before we claim these?
As he's already like claimed one.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
move things in.
yeah. You know,
I'm taking the taxidermy room.
what room do you want, Grandpa?
Well, I like the plant room, but I also like the fume hood, and I don't mind too strong. I could take that normal room. Whatever people don't want.
You know, I'll take the normal room. I'll change my mind. I'll push my stuff into the normal room.
The normal room? Which one's the normal room?
The one with the chest.
Oh.
The
Oh,
bed
yeah.
and the lever.
Yeah,
It's got a nice bed.
I'll take that one
I
instead.
mean, if you want the map room, you can have the map room.
What do you two want?
Yeah, that chest is still there.
One of you want the clockwork creatures room? You
He
seem
has-
to like them.
He has no use for like.
If
that
there's like
or anything.
the one with like all the gears and
Mhm.
things and bits and bobs.
Yeah, that has the wind-up storytelling box and the wind-up miniature arc koi with the ship on its back
Yes,
that flies and
done.
stuff. Yeah,
And that's one with like the side room where we fought in.
yeah. It has
Yeah,
the
that's-
side
that
room
has,
to the
like,
training hall.
Spinning wheel and
It's
stuff.
the wheel's gone, the
Yeah,
wheel of
yeah,
our
but
magic,
I mean,
but that's where it
that's
was.
where it was.
It's got some like target dummies and stuff like put up against the walls.
Yeah.
In that extra chamber.
Unless somebody else wants it. It's fine.
We're all too polite.
Okay, you're going to the clockwork creatures room.
Yeah.
You're going to the map room.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll stay in the map room. I'll stay in the map room.
Okay, who's in the normal room or the chest room?
Does any of them have a bed big enough for Slate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another question.
None of them have a bed big enough for Slate. Well, I mean, super comfortably. A human's bed would be weird, but fine. Not ideal. The one that's the taxidermy room had a bed leaned up against the wall that looks like it's for a smaller statured race. More sized on the, like, halfling, maybe dwarf size.
How tall is Nick again? 5 feet?
5 feet. She should probably buy a bed, but like
Yeah,
I
it'd be
feel like
nicer
she
to have a bigger bed,
could-
but you could, again, like, he could be on a human bed. You could be on this small size bed.
Were there any like foot cushions in that sitting room?
Yeah, there's like an ottoman.
I'm gonna start dragging that out the door.
Outside the caravan?
No, out into the main hallway.
Okay, you have an ottoman in the main hallway. Okay.
Flo, what you doing?
I found something for you. I figured since your stature is so much bigger than the rest, you could put this at the end of your bed.
You know, that's very thoughtful.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah,
Then your feet aren't just,
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
sadly
It's like
off the bed.
It's like my knees are standing and the rest of me's laying down. It would be nice.
So we got some claimed rooms: the map room, the taxidermy room, the clockwork room. You wanted the time
I
room.
can. It doesn't. Sleep.
Okay, and then we've got the room with the chest in it, and the room with the sword garden.
I think Renas just wants the garden room, which makes sense because he can take care of his plants.
Yeah.
Ren gets the garden room. I
Okay.
need to borrow the forge here and there, but
I mean, can I borrow the alchemy room?
I think you and Grandpa are both going to want through for that one. Yes.
Yeah, and Annette probably too.
Yeah. I figure that's maybe a shared use.
It's almost
All
like
of them
I
are
designed
shared
this with
use.
multiple players in mind.
I mean, if that's the case, then do we want to just leave that room open for people to come and go, and I'll just take the normal looking room?
I mean, whatever you want.
Whatever
like,
you want.
Yeah, I'll just take that one. Then no one has to worry.
Okay. Well, I think with rooms claimed, at least for now, we can probably wind down. It's 9:20, so it's probably a good time for us to call it for tonight. I know it was not the most action-packed session, but hopefully everyone had fun and got some interesting moments.
For the record,
Uh-huh.
if Nicholas had randomed into me with the mind thing, shenanigans.
Yeah, could have been
Oh
bad.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Could have been interesting.
And that's, like, you guys don't even know what my magic item does. Which is
Oh, yeah.
also impactful here.
Could have been interesting. Could have been interesting. But we had to randomize. He didn't know, so he would have randomized, and thankfully it picked Renasus. For you guys as well as for me, probably, but it would have been interesting.
That'd have been like, well, the campaign ends here.
The campaign changes here, that's for sure. In any case, thank you everybody for joining. Thanks, Kat, for calling in. I'm sorry you couldn't make it this time, but hopefully next week you'll be able to if you've got your negative results and all that. So hopefully
Yeah,
that
wish me luck.
that'll that goes smoothly. And then I think Nate will be joining us either next or the one after. I have to coordinate with him when he gets back from his vacation. But we'll try and plan for that accordingly. But yeah, I mean, nice job, guys. We cleared the caravan and stuff like that, and got Amelia's daughter back, Amelia back to her mom. Definitely got some implications and things headed down the line. In 3 turnings time, we're gonna have to be playing escort, and you guys are wrapped up in some political nonsense. But you do have your fast traveling wagon and 3 turnings to kill in the meantime. So, you know, just doing the math, that's something like 286 miles that you guys can cover in a single direction. Which puts you well past the borders of Sanctus, or outside of Sanctus itself. So if you wanted to go far and teleport back, you can do that. If you wanted to go a little bit and then go back in a distance, you could do that. So you can start thinking about maybe what's in your range, what's in your interest. You know, this is a good downtime time to check out shops and stores, the Lorebright office, follow up on leads, you know.
So many things gotta slap that stone on.
Other things you guys want to check out. Definitely a lot that can be done. So maybe just give a light in the back of your head thing throughout the week of like, maybe it'd be nice to do this, or here's a book I'd like to read, or here's a skill I'd like to follow up on, or here's my pistol I'd like to work on, or, you know, whatever. You guys clearly want to go back to Kendo and Chikuna at the shop and talk to them about their dad and all that. But nice job. We got ourselves a roving home base with cool stuff inside, and you guys got some hot invitation rewards for that Lord Bright League thing, so we'll see how you guys put those to use. So we'll call that for tonight. Thanks, guys, for coming in.